All right. Now, folks, what we are going to see today. First, project requirement and development. Okay, project requirement first, project development, deployment, scheduling. Deployment from your end. All of you understood the requirements, all of you today? So, project requirement and project development, deployment and scheduling. Right? So, I'll go very slow, extremely slow. I'll repeat 2 to 3 times. You may think, Sai, what is that tough in it? You already know the project requirement side. We already project development side. No. That's just a use case. You read 2 sources and written the data. But as real-time project is concerned, the architecture would be quite bigger and quite higher. Right? So how we're going to tackle it? What are the project requirements? I'm going to go step by step along with deployment. All right, EMR deployment I just completed after so many failures. Some path issues, all of them. Finally, I made it. Actually, one sec. Let me check the test folder. Yeah, finally I made it. Perfect. Let me remove all the necessary details. Okay. Folks, all of you ready to concentrate? I need 200% of your concentration, folks. Please, okay. I request, I beg, or whatever you can think you want. But this is going to be a very deeper session. I need you to concentrate a lot. I very much worried about you get deviated, but please do not disappoint me, folks. Please, okay? Yeah, hope you concentrate. You stay with me today. One sec. Yeah, now you can talk.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
now
I-
concentrate.
Sure.
Now, let's talk about the project requirement now. Now, what does the project requirement stated? All right, have a check here. Now, the requirement stated, Sai, you have web API data. Okay. See the requirement first so that you can explain in the project level so and so good. How many of you are failing in the project passage itself? Okay, Sai, I could not able to tackle some questions. There are few folks here, correct? Yeah. So that clears a lot of answers today because we are going to go till the deployment step-by-step procedure. Imagine I have a web API. I'll go step by step here. We have a web API data. In this web API data, please concentrate. Step 1. Extract this web API data. Write it to a location in S3. Concentrate, please concentrate. Step 1. What does that step say? Step 1. This is step 1. Extract this web API data. Write it to a location in S3. Okay. Have a check. They're asking, extract this web API data. Write exploded data to a location in S3. You have to write the flattened data to S3 location. You got the point, all of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Step 1. There is a reason for me to call step. Have that in the mind, okay? You're gonna connect somewhere with respect to step. Always have what is actually a step mean, okay? You understood where I'm going through, all of you?
Step execution.
Step execution. I'll come to it, okay? Step 1. What they stated, extract this web API data and flatten the data and write exploded data to S3. Pakka. Perfect. That is step 1. Step 2 stated, write this web API data to RDBMS. To a table API data tab. What is my second step, folks? Tell me. We have to write the exploded web API data to where? Where? To a table known as RDBMS. We have to write this data to RDBMS. You understood the second step, all of you? Here. Step 3. Read the customer Avro data from S3 and join it with exploded web API data and do all the transformations and write the available customers and not available customers to S3. What is my third step? Third step is our actual project code which we have done. Correct, all of you? Right?
Yes, sir.
Agreed? Now what they're asking, step 1, I want you to, you have web API data for sure, but just write step 1 to a S3 data. To S3. Step 2, write the flattened data to RDBMS for different analytics. Step 3, you also have an Avro data sitting in S3, and to other location, write the data to another bucket as available customers and not available customers. Okay? Yeah. Now, folks, this is my step 3. Now, I'm going to ask you one question. How many steps do we have here? Totally, how many steps we have here?
3.
How many steps we have here?
3 steps.
3 steps.
Steps.
What is my first step? Extract the data, flatten it, and write it to S3 location. Pakka.
Yes, sir.
Write the flattened data to RDBMS. It is step 2. Then join the flattened data with Avro sample and do the joins, handle nulls. One sec, folks. One sec. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Okay. So totally we have 3 steps of data, folks. All right. If you closely watch over, right? Extract the web API data is my step 1. Step 2 is explode, like write it to S3. Second step is write it to RDBMS. The third step is join with Avro data, explode the web API data, do all the transformations, write the available customers and not available customers. This was the steps provided. Let's first, all of you here first understood the requirement, correct? What is the whole requirement says?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, what Sai will do? Sai got this requirement and he got the necessary details. What are the necessary details we want? I'll write out the necessary details. Web API URL. Web API URL. This is your web API URL. This is very important. You have to know. Target URL data, S3 path. Is it not, folks? You need, I'm talking about this guy. This details I have provided. What we want, we need where I have to extract it. We need to which RDBMS I have to write. Where is my Avro sample? Where I have to write the data. Is it not? These details are very important for all of us, basically.
Yes, sir.
We need web API data, RDBMS target, flattened data path, Avro data path, target data. Now let's actually go ahead with filling all the details. Web API, I already provided. Perfect. Target URL data path. What is target URL data path? Let me give it to you. As of now, let me give it to you. This should be my target URL data path. All of you understood this so far? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Done. Next, RDBMS details. I have one of the host name. This is my RDBMS host name. Folks, these details are provided. These details are provided. This is provided. RDBMS details are provided. Avro source path. Let me provide you Avro source path. Avro source path. Let me give it to you. This is your Avro source path. This is a place where you have that Avro data. And the very last one, target location of available and non-available customers. All right, have a check. They're expecting here. Best available customers, not available customers. Folks, anyone confused so far or all good? So far, all good.
Sai, RDBMS is just the link only, no database credentials.
I'll give you. During the write, I'll give you. Okay. Everything. This is just a high level template of pseudonyms. Now here, folks, to achieve this whole execution, we need the details. Hey, which web API I'm going to read? To which S3 location I'm going to write the data? To which RDBMS I'm going to write the data? Where is my source Avro path? To which location I have to write the data? They're very clear. This is my web API data. This is what they provided as a details. Have a check here, folks. Have a check here. This is my web API data. All right. This is my web API data. This is my source target path. That means this is a place where I'm expecting that as a target location of my flattened data. I'm expecting this area as a target location. Okay. This is my RDBMS path. Sorry, RDBMS host name. This is my Avro data where I have my source data setting. This is my target location where I'm expecting available customers and not available customers. Folks, I'm okay to ask this question again and again, or everyone is clear so far? So far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So far. See this. I'm going now. The development is going to start. Before that, be clear on your requirement, please. Okay. Very, very delicate, minute areas. I'm going to tell you a step by step. I need your full potential here. All right. Now, what Sai will do? Okay. You got a project requirement, folks. What will you do first? Can you tell me that? What will you do first? You will start the development. What Sai will do immediately? He immediately goes to EMR. Correct, all of you?
Yes, correct.
Yes. He will go to a clusters and he will launch a development cluster because he want to start the development. So far, he do not have any code. He just got this requirement. Now, what Sai will do immediately? He will go to EMR in his project. Now, he will start launching his own cluster. For example, development cluster. It is in the cluster mode. It is not a step execution. It is a development mode. I need a Spark Hadoop here. Okay, I want to launch 3-node cluster. Choose a key pair and launch the cluster. Now, Sai wants to start his development. Now, Sai wants to start his development. So far, he just got some details in his bucket. Hey, these are the necessary details for you. These are the 3 steps I'm expecting. Folks, how many steps he is expecting? My boss is expecting
3 steps.
3 steps.
3 steps. Have it in mind. The whole project is going to be a 3-step process. 3-step process. Now, my development cluster gets launched. Right? My developers get launched. It would be in the starting state initially, then running state, then what? What is the final state of my cluster? It would be
Waiting state.
You can start your development by the time it goes to the development state. Sorry, waiting state. I have so many clusters. Let's terminate it. Let's terminate it, okay? Okay. Now, this is my cluster, which is in the starting state. Now, folks, closely watch over. I'm nowhere talking about developing a jar, deploying a jar, run a Spark Summit. No, nothing I'm talking it as of now. As of now, I'm not talking about it. I am currently in the development phase. Which phase I'm in right now, folks? Development phase. So far, no jar, no Spark Summit, no deployment, nothing. So now I have to develop my code. I have to start my development. Right? With all the requirements which I got, I have to start my development. Now, it is in the configuration state. Now, you got the URL already. Hey, this is your URL. What will you do? Go to it. Go to the mobexterm or putty. All right. Log into it. Right? You have to attach the key pair. You'll go to the key pair. That's it. Now, my EMR has logged in. But I cannot start my work immediately. I cannot start my work immediately because my cluster is still in starting state. It's still in starting state. It is installing the softwares. It is installing Hadoop and Spark, Zeppelin and everything. I cannot start my work. It will keep throwing up the errors. If I open Spark shell, if I open Hadoop commands, it will throw some errors to us. So that's the reason I cannot start my work immediately. Instead, I have to wait it to go to the waiting state. All of you are clear with it so far, what I'm just doing?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Let it load. Let it load. Let's open Spark shell. Let's see whether it works. Still the cluster is in the starting state. Doesn't mean that everything will work. See, it will throw errors. When I read the data, when I try to do it, it will throw, hey, hold on, it's still configuring. Spark is still under configuration, still installation is going on. It will start throwing up the errors. Can you see that, all of you? Still it is not ready, basically. Yeah, still it is not ready. Wait for it. Fine. Now, once my development is completed, all right, my development so far, my development has not yet completed. Only the requirement gathering happened. So far, Sai understood what to do. That's it. But he didn't do yet. He started to, he's getting started to build his own code. All right. Now, I was clearly, folks, you remember, I put one statement during the deployment session. I have the dev environment. I have the prod environment. I have Eclipse with me. You remember this word, all of you, basically?
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to copy the jar.
Exactly. See, and this is my Eclipse. Right? Now, I might have some data in the production environment. But the same data I'll have in my dev environment as well. Yes or no, folks? Basically. Obviously. Yes. Now, what I have to do, I have to process it and I'll write the data to my target location, the dev environment. I will open Spark Shell here, which helps me to develop the code. Tell me. Spark Shell. Using Spark Shell, I develop my code. I take this code to my Eclipse environment and then I'll generate the jar. Then I take this jar and do Spark Summit in the production environment. Do you remember this, all of you, actually? Basically, yeah? This process.
Yes, sir.
Same process. Eclipse are intelligent. Same process. Spark Shell. Now I'm currently here, folks. Now, no Eclipse for me so far. No Eclipse for me so far. Yeah, we have Eclipse, but currently my target is I just started my cluster. I just started this cluster actually in the dev environment. Now, let's see. It is in the waiting state. Correct, all of you? Which state is it right now? Waiting state. Now, let's open Spark Shell. Folks, I started my development just now. I'm starting my development right now. Now, please concentrate a step-by-step process. Before I open Spark Shell, looking at this requirement, do Spark Shell is the right option to open? Just a Spark Shell? You itself tell me. Think.
No,
we need the jar for that.
Exactly.
We need jar for X.
See, during this 3-step development, we need RDBMS jar and we need Avro jar as well. Yes or no, folks? Basically, yeah.
Yes.
We need those 2 jars. Now, what I will do, I will open Spark Shell with those jars. How to download the jars on fly? Tell me. Using packages.
Version ID.
Now I'm going to start my development, folks. Please concentrate. Right? One sec. Maven, MySQL Maven. Folks, do not deviate, folks, because slowly, every detail it will go step by step. Okay, please. I plead you, please. Okay, please concentrate. Right? Now, I open my SQL. Now, let's give packages here. Package, MySQL connector jar, and the version. Pakka. And what is other package I want? I need
Avro
as well.
comma as a delimiter.
As a comma as a delimiter, I started giving the Avro package as well. Folks, I just started my development to start these 3 steps. I want to develop these 3 steps right now. First step is to write the API data to S3. First step. Second step, write the exploded web API data to RDBMS to API data tab table. Third step, read the customer Avro data and the join and available and not available. But during my deployment, the development, when I develop my code, test my code in the developer's environment, I need some extra jars because RDBMS need MySQL connector. Avro need Avro connector, Avro jar. So I'm opening my Spark shell during the development phase itself with packages. Now open the Spark shell. Now your development gets started. All of you are clear? One quick thing. How many steps I'm going to develop right now? Tell me. 3 steps.
3 steps.
Three steps.
Step-by-step process. I'm nowhere talking about Eclipse right now. I'm nowhere talking about jar. Nowhere talking about Spark Summit. Nothing I'm talking. I just got the requirement, launched my cluster, opened the Spark shell with extra jars. That's it. My Spark
And
shell
how
is
do you-
available right now. Right? My Spark shell is available right now. Can you see it got downloaded? Jars got downloaded, all of you, on fly, right?
Yes, sir.
All good. Now, let's start our development. What is our first step? Extract the web API data, write exploded data to the location in S3. Now, let's get started. Now, you know how to read the web API data, explode it and write it. Everyone knows the code here, right?
Yeah, IO.
What we'll do? Import io.scalar. Sorry, scalar.io. Sorry. Right? We started the development. Now I'm targeting the first step. I'm targeting the first step right now. Now I started my development. All right. What I'll do right now, I'll open my notepad and I'm writing as step 1 code. Then I'll open step 2 code. Then I'll open step 3 code. Got it, all of you? I'm dividing all the steps separately. Do that helps? Step-by-step code. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Check. Now step 1 code. Now let's start step 1 code. I started my step 1 with import. This is my code level. Right? I started my code in this is my step code. All right. Now, have a check. Please have a check. Now I'm starting my work. Where URL data is equal to source dot from URL. Correct, all of you? Hope everyone remember this.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then put your code. Test it. You're testing it, okay? You're testing it. From URL. Dot mk string I can put here itself. That's it. Print URL data. Pakka URL data is coming up. Now this is my second line of code. This is the working code. Look at it, how I'm going, okay? This is my second liner code. Third liner code. Well, RDD is equals to sc dot parallelize list of URL data.
Yeah.
Well, JSON df is equals to spark.read.json RDD.
List of.
No, list will come. List already come.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Folks, I'm still in the development phase. Have in mind. JSON df. This is my JSON df. So my code is working. All of you, yes or no? Correct? Done. This is also working. Done. This is just for my understanding. Done. So far. And I have to explode my code. I have to explode my data frame. Hope all of you remember the explode code here. Yeah. Explode code.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Have a check. It's good that I face this issue. Have a check. Let me explain you that. Okay. Folks, I have written a code. Now let me explode this. Have a check. This is my explode data. Yes, and all of you, can you see the explode code here? Yeah. This is how I exploded and selected. Flat DF. Done. I flattened it. Show this data. Your development folks, you're still developing it. You're still developing it. This is my URL data. Folks, this is your exploded data. Everyone agree my point? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Done. Now, to complete my step 1, what I have to do, have a check what my step 1 says. What does my step 1 say?
Write it to S3 bucket.
Write it to S3.
Exactly, have a check. Extract this web API data and write exploded data to location in S3. Pakka. Which S3 location? How that works? Okay, which S3 location I have to write? Tell me. This location. Okay, now I'll do one thing. Let me post this in an Excel, right? So that you will have the differences of the requirements. One sec, folks, for better understanding. Because you can easily confuse if I keep noting up the notepads. One sec, let me remove. Let me straight away remove that such folks. I'll straight away remove such folks. If any interruption happens today, don't expect me to be more and more human today. Okay? I'll immediately remove in case of any discussion, any disturbance happens today. Fine. Folks, if I put this in Excel, that makes sense instead of navigating in the notepad. Yeah? This
Yes,
is
sir.
the details.
Yes.
Now, write this data to the API data. Once you flatten it, write the data to the API data. I'm talking about this guy, folks. I'm talking about this guy. So far, I consumed it and flattened web API. Now, what I have to do now? Tell me. I have to write it to a S3 location. That's my step 1. Which location I have to write? This is my location. Agreed my point or not? All of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Agree.
Now, let's go to S3. Check this location. Like, hey, do I have any data here? Do I have any API folder? Let's see what is the status of this bucket or folder. Go to AWS. Go to bucket. These are the buckets, folks. These are the complete buckets. DevZeo, SRC, 14.1. Do I have any API data here? Tell me, do I have any API data here? No.
No, sir.
No.
They are expecting that API data should come here, the data frame which we generated as a Parquet data. Let's write the data as API data. Now, take this code, take this path, come to your Spark shell and shoot the command. Flat df dot write dot format Parquet dot mode. Better maintain always override. Any failure happens, it overwrites it. That's okay. Save. Shoot. Now, my step 1 completed. Out of 3 steps, step 1 is completed. If I refresh this, you'll see this API data coming up. You'll have Parquet data sitting here. Folks, do my step 1 completed here? basically.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I.
Now, can I say data got written to S3 bucket? This area, location?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Pakka. Step 1 completed. Among all these steps, folks, am I confusing you or okay? Okay. So far. I'm going slow, right?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
It's clear, sir.
Now, I'll just quit a quick iteration, a small iteration. Folks, the requirement was very clear. You have web API data. Requirement was very clear. You have web API data, right? You have S3. In this web API data, as a step 1, read it, flatten it, and write it to an S3 location. This is your S3 location, flattened data. This, we call it as a step 1. I'm okay to iterate it, folks, because upcoming steps are quite critical. Have a check. This is my step 1. Done. This is my step 1. What is my step 2? Write the flattened data to where?
DBMS.
RDBMS.
RDBMS. Write the flattened data to RDBMS. You have to write the flattened data to RDBMS. That's your step 2. Step 2. Right? Let me highlight it. Step 1, which is already completed. Step 2, we are going to start right now. All right. Step 2, we are going to start right now. Next one is, you have Avro data already in S3. Some source team has already pushed it. All right, S3. Now, read these 2 data sets, and as a step 3, write it to a new location known as available and not available. All of you remember this requirements so far?
Yes, sir.
Don't
Yes,
feel
sir.
bored, because the upcoming steps are going to be quite crucial and critical. All right, that's the reason I'm making my point very clear again and again. This going to be your step 3. Fine, folks. Step 1 is completed. Now, you know what Sai immediately do? Step 1 is already completed, folks. This and this is already completed. What Sai will do immediately? Any idea? Any guesses?
Open Spark Shell.
No. He will.
Close the cluster.
Then where we can we do development? Come on.
Step
No.
execution.
I'll tell you. See, this is my code. This is my code. I developed my code. Correct, all of you? Is this my working code? Step by step. Step
Yes,
1.
sir.
Now, what I immediately do? He will create a project first. Leave about the jar. No, I'm not talking about the jar. He will create a project first. In Eclipse. Spark project deploy. He will start his project first. This is our project. All right. This is my project which I just created. Now have a check here. He will do all the necessary steps for this project. Folks, Sai just completed first step. Now what he is doing, he started to create his own project. All of you understood in his Eclipse? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Package. Then, what he just done, he will create an object known as API extract. What is object name I just created? Tell me.
API.
API extract. This is my step 1. Step 1 object. He will create his dev main, args, array, string, unit, as usual formalities. And what he will do, he will initialize val conf is equal to spark conf. He'll do all the imports, folks. He'll do all the imports. Let me take up the imports a bit quicker. He'll take all the necessary imports and put it here. He take conf and everything. He will take all, okay, add the jars. You see, now add the jars are very important here. Correct,
Yes,
all of you?
sir.
Add your jars. He already developed only one step. Immediately after the first step, he started creating a project for this in Eclipse. Okay. He added up the jars. Then he initialized conf. He initialized session. He enabled everything. It took care of everything. Now, once it is done, all right. Now, once it is done, he start to put that step 1 code. Folks, step 1 code. Take the first step, put your complete code here. Understood what I just did right now? Yeah. Once he completed the development, he created his own project and he put that code in the Eclipse and have the code ready. Everybody's with me now, right now, so far?
Sir.
Done.
Yes, sir.
Done. I see, folks. I created my dev EMR cluster, opened the Spark shell, developed my step 1, put the code in my Eclipse. So far, pakka. Next, target step 2. What is my step 2? Go ahead, folks. What is my step 2? I have to
Write it
Add to RDBMS.
write the data to RDBMS table known as API data tab. They are very clear about it. This is your RDBMS data. This is my RDBMS data. Now, what Sai will do, he will develop the code. Open the Spark shell. Folks, Spark shell is the only development area. In real time, Spark shell in the cluster is the only development area for you. Eclipse or IntelliJ is only to generate the jar. You got my point, all of you? Yes? Please have it in mind. We have been loading the local files for the practice in our laptops. But trust me, in real time, we cannot have 50 GB data in our Windows. Only the Spark shell. Now what Sai did? He already have flatdf.show. He already have flatdf.show and he already opened RDBMS table and checked. Can you see this RDBMS table, all of you? API data tab. Do I have such table exist? Okay, show tables in ZeoDB. Folks, do I have any table known as API tab in my RDBMS? API data tab? Anything like that?
No, sir.
Such table does not exist. I mean, here I have to write it to a table known as API data tab. Such data table does not exist in RDBMS. That's okay. Now, what Sai will do quick, Sai already knows how to write the data to RDBMS. Now, what Sai immediately do? He will take that flat df dot write dot format JDBC. Correct, all of you? All of you remember this? RDBMS writes. Correct? Yes or no?
Say yes.
Yeah. Then option. Okay. What are the options? URL is an option. JDBC, MySQL, hostname. Zaid, please, Zaid. No, Zaid. That's not right. I just muted you. ZeoDB dot option driver com.mysql.jdbc.driver. Correct, all of you? Dot option user This is my user. Dot option. This is my password. As of now, I'm hard coding it. Dot option. DB table. What is my DB table name? I'm expecting API data tab. Dot mode. Append it. All right. Append it. Dot save. Is this your RDBMS code? Right code? All of you agree my point, which we know already. In the multi-line, I'm showing, okay? For easy understanding, multi-line, I'm showing it. This is your RDBMS tab, but one small requirement. I want to attach one column with, before I write, with column current underscore date with the current date. You got the point? What am I doing here? Before I write RDBMS, what I'm attaching to the data frame? I'm attaching my current date. Folks, all of you understood what I'm doing here, basically? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I just attaching current date with an extra column before I write the data. Now let's test this code. Whether the data reaches to RDBMS or not. In case of any issues we face, let's discuss on it. Now the data write is happening. All right. Have a check. Let's see whether the table got created in RDBMS. Table got created. Can you see that, all of you? Spark is creating its own table. Yes or no? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now the data write would be happening. Slowly the data gets loaded. Just wait for it. It's a huge data. It's almost 1,000 records data. Folks, you understood, right? Where am I right now? Which step I am right now? This step. Correct? So far?
Yes, sir.
So far, I'm in this step. It's taking a long time. Let's wait for 30 seconds or 1 more minute, or else we'll kill this. Yeah, done. Can you see the data, folks? Do that reached?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Full data, along with current date at the end. Current date at the end here. Now, this data has reached. But folks, this is step 2. Correct? This is step 2. What Sai will do, concentrate folks, this is step 2. Agreed or not so far? Yeah. This is step 2. Data has reached. This is my extra line of code. This is my working code. This is my working code. This is my step 2 code. I'm talking about step 2 code. I have written it. I wrote the flat data and I just written the data. All of you agreed so far? This is my step 2 code. Correct?
Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
this is step 2. In case of my step 2, what you have to do, I cannot directly go to write the data. They're expecting a complete new step. So that's the reason this is a fresh new step. In the development phase, you can complete step 1 and complete step 2. But during step 2, that has to be very new code. So read the data back where you write the data some time ago. You got the point what I mean? Actually, all of you, you got my point? See, what I just did here, step 1 is completed. I continued writing to RDBMS, but this is fresh new step. Yes or no, this one? Yeah.
Yes, right.
So what I have to do, this is a complete new step. That's the reason I read the data from S3 and write it back. There is a reason. Hold on, I'll tell you. There is a reason. So why can't I put in a single object? No. Hold on, I'll tell you. All right, hold on. This is a complete new step. In my Spark shell, I continued it. I found this guy first, then this guy, then this guy. But since the requirement was very clear, hey, step 2 should be reading the flattened data, write it to RDBMS. Read the flattened data, write it to RDBMS. It's not like read API data, flatten it, then write it. No. Step 1 was very clear. Read web API data, write it to flattened data. Step 2, read the flattened data, write it to RDBMS. So this is my actual code. Everyone agree my point so far? Yeah. The target in my step 1, the target right in my step 1 becomes source to my step 2. Understood or not? All of you?
Yeah.
Yes, I.
Yes, I.
I repeat it again. During my step 1, this is my target. During step 1, this is my target. In step 2, this is my source. This is my source. I read it and write it. There is a reason for me to make it as a separate step. I'll come to it. Hold on. Just give me some time. Now, this is my step 2 code. This is my step 2 code. Step 1 code, pretty simple. Read URL data. Read this data. Read this consume URL, RDD, flatten, write. Step 2, read the flattened data, attach column, current date, and write it. This is my step 2. Now, can I say my step 2 is completed? All of you? Yes? So far?
Yeah.
Okay. Step 2 is completed. Now, what Sai will do immediately? Tell me. What Sai will do immediately?
You'll go to Eclipse.
Eclipse and
He will
create
go to
object.
Eclipse. Exactly. He will go to Eclipse, create a very new object. Pack obj, right? RDS writes is my object name. Put all the necessary imports. Put all the necessary methods and main methods. Done. Then my code. What my code says?
Read the data
Read the
from
data.
S3
Write
and
the
write
data
to
to
R.
RDBMS. All of you agree my point here, basically? Yeah. Is this your step 2 code?
Yes.
Done. My step 2 is also completed. My step 2 is also completed. Save it. Step 1. Read the API data. Write to S3. This is step 1. All right. Step 2. Read that S3 data. Write it to RDS. Step 2. Now, in this case, my 2 steps are completed. Folks, everybody is with me so far? Everybody is with me.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
One quick check. Where am I doing my development? First, where am I doing my development?
Spark shell.
Spark shell.
Shell.
Where did I host my Spark shell? In which cluster I'm opening my Spark shell? EMR development.
EMR
cluster.
I created my own EMR. Open the Spark shell.
Spark shell.
Execute step 1. Done. Put the code in Eclipse. Execute step 2. Done. Put the code in Eclipse. And very important thing, after every step execution, I am checking my data, testing my data. Yes or no, folks?
Yes.
I'm validating it. Hey, whether my development is completed, whether that is reaching to target. My target here is API Zayo. This data is my step 1 output. Step 2 output is RDBMS data. Correct so far? Done. Done. Which is left right now? Tell me.
Step 3.
Step 3. Step 3. What I'll do right now. Where I have to develop it. Tell me ultimately where I have to develop it. In my Spark shell.
Shell.
What my step 3 says. What my step 3 says. Read this data. Read this data. Write this data. Correct? All of you?
Yes,
Read 2 steps S3 and S3. Write it to S3 bucket. Other S3 available or not available information. Now check. Please check. Now read the data back. I have my project development code, folks. Now read the Avro data. Where I have my Avro data, val data is equals to spark.read.format Avro dot load. Where I have my Avro data, go to the requirement doc. This is a place where I have my Avro data. Yes or no, folks? Simple? Correct? This is my Avro data.
Yes, sir.
Read that Avro data. Read that Avro data. Folks, now I'm reading both. Now I'm talking about step 3. This guy I'm talking about. For step 3, I need flattened data and Avro data. I need flattened data and Avro data. Now first, let me read the Avro data. All right. Let me check that Avro data also. Let me show you the source. Where I have my Avro data, dev Zayo, src, this date, extracted. Go to S3, dev Zayo, S3, this one, and extracted, you have that project sample. This is your source data sitting. That's great. That's my project data. Shoot it. This is your Avro data. Done. Next. URL data. Where I have my URL data, tell me. Which path I have my URL data sitting? Where I have my URL data sitting, folks? This guy I'm talking about. This guy. It is sitting in API data. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. This is sitting in API data. Read the data back. Read the data. This is my another source. Now read that API data. Spark.read.format park.load. Done. Now I'm reading both the data back. All right. This is my development just started, folks. Development just started. Step 3 code just started. This is my step 3 code. Have a check. I read the Avro data. Then I read the API flattened data. Then as usual, everyone knows it, right? Yeah. Remove the numericals. Join the data frame. Same Spark code, okay. Handle null and not null. Filter nulls, available customers, not available customers. Same project code, okay. Replace nulls. Find the not available customers. One sec. Find the not available customers. Find the available customers. Finally, the development is going on. Correct, all of you? All of you agree my point, basically? Yeah? Now have a check. I am validating it. Do the not available customers are looking fine? Validate the data. All right? Check on that. You're just validating the data. You're still under development. You are still under development. Yeah, not available. Everything looks fine. You tested it. Then put available data. Dot show. Sorry. This is your available customers data. Folks, all of you understood what I'm going through actually? Step by step. Yeah? Everyone with me or not? Yeah?
Yes,
No?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We are following.
Let me take this code, put it in my step 3 code. I read the data. I removed the numericals. I joined the data. And I handled nulls and handled not nulls and replace nulls, everything. Then not available customers. Then available customers. Done. My code is pakka. It's going step by step. It is going. This is step 3 code. This is step 3 code. All right. Now, where I have to write the data, folks, where we have to write the data, right? Where I'll write the data, tell me. Where I have to test my code. I have to write the data to these 2 locations. Everyone agree my point, basically? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is available customers output. Available customers output. Before that, let's check the dest folder. Do I have anything in this folder? Go to S3, check the dest folder. Dest folder. Do I have anything here? Tell me.
No, sir.
Nothing I have. Now, write the available customers. Write dot format of Parquet. Always target should be Parquet file format. What is the reason to have Parquet file format? Tell me.
Organized columns and predictive pushdowns.
Column, yeah, predictive pushdown, columnar format, faster querying, blah, blah, blah. Correct, all of you? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, this is available customers. Not available customers. Same path, no change, but not available customers. Correct, all of you, basically?
Yes, sir.
Done. Test it, test it. Everything should be tested. Even the write should be tested in your dev environment. Available customers, I'm writing the data. Not available customers, I'm writing the data. Let's check. Available customers written, not available customers are written. Let's go to S3 and check whether the data got generated. The date got generated. Inside that, I have available, not available. You understood, all of you, basically? All of you so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I.
My development is completed. This is my step 3 code. Folks, step 1, straight away get the URL data, flatten and write it. Step 2, read the flattened data, write it to this one, like RDBMS. Third one, read the Avro data, read the, just you read the API data, develop everything with respect to the requirement. And this is your target location. Now, what Sai will do immediately? Now, you tell me. What
Eclipse.
Sai will do immediately?
Object,
Go to
create
Eclipse.
object and
Exactly. Now, Sai will go to Eclipse. Create a very new object. Object is avail, non-avail. Okay. I'm just creating a table. Just creating. Cust avail. Okay. I'm creating object known as cust avail. I'll put all the necessary imports and exports, everything. Main method. And usual conf sessions and everything. Then my required code. That's it, folks. How many steps I have executed totally? Tell me.
3,
How many steps did we execute in total? Tell me.
3,
3.
Three steps. How many objects I have created? Tell me.
3,
Three objects we have created. 3 objects I have created. 3 steps I have executed. 3 objects I have created. 3 steps I have executed. I'm saving all the things. Okay. Extract is done. This is done. Now, folks, my development is completed 100%? No. I tested the data and everything. Correct? Done. My work is completed. Now, what Sai will do? He'll come out of his shell. His development is completed. What Sai will do once the development is completed? He will go to EMR.
terminate it.
Terminate the cluster.
My development is completed, boss. My development is completed.
Jar has to be done.
I created my own cluster, opened the Spark shell. Now remember this diagram. What I did, there was a data sitting. I have written to 2 targets. What are the 2 targets for me here? Tell me. One is RDBMS, other one is
S3.
S3, correct? Available and not available customers. I have totally 2 targets. I tested it, yes. I opened my Spark shell. I created my shell and opened my Spark shell. And I developed my code. Once I developed my code, I just took it to my Eclipse so far. Did I took it to Eclipse so far? My code? That's it. Then immediately I terminated my cluster. I terminated my development cluster. It is done. Is it going good so far, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Am I overheading you? Am I giving a stress to you?
No, sir.
Actually, I'm trying my level best, actually. But hope I'm not disappointing anyone here. Right? Now,
Yes.
leave the project deployment, okay? Okay, let's have it as a backup for now. Because if I need something, I can go and get it from it. Now, my code is developed and terminated my cluster. Very important point to mention. All right. In the cloud environment, developer's job is not just developing the code. Developer's job is not just developing the code. So far, we just developed the code. We just created my cluster, opened the Spark shell, developed my 3 steps, put that 3 steps in my Eclipse, done. But in real time, developers is not just developing the code, but also to develop the deployment script. What I have to develop, folks, along with the development code? I have to develop the deployment script. What is a deployment script? What is it all about? Okay, deployment is Spark Summit. Yes, it is developed Spark Summit, but what is a deployment script? That's the next puzzle. In the production environment, do you think I'll go and open Spark Shell here? You tell me, in the production environment, and execute the code. Do you think I'll do it in the production environment?
No, sir.
No.
Access.
No. You'll not have access to Spark Shell. No, you'll not have it. Folks, concentrate. What I have to do in my production environment? I have to do Spark submit with what? With jar.
Jar cluster.
Folks, you have to do the jar deployment. But can I generate the jar and directly take it to the production? You tell me. I'll generate the jar with the code and I'll directly take it to the production environment. Is it a good option?
No,
You
sir.
itself tell me.
DevOps.
No. Is it not? I have to test whether this jar is working. First of all.
Yes, sir.
You tell me.
Yes.
Can I take directly the jar here to deploy?
No.
No.
Generate the jar. Test it in your dev environment first. You got the point what I mean? All of you? Generate the jar. Test it in your dev environment again. Remove all the necessary data and take the jar and deploy it. Do Spark Summit here. Test your Spark Summit. That's also the developer's job. We have to test the jar deployment in the dev environment. So you understood what is the deployment script mean? All of you here? Yeah? We have to develop the deployment Spark Summit script and test it in the dev environment. Then only take it to the production environment. That we are going to see post break. Folks, extremely important. The jar deployment, this guy going to come into picture now. This guy is going to come into picture now. 3 steps we have. This guy is going to come into picture. How automation, everything is going to be discussed further. Are you enjoying the session in the first half?
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
No stress, right?
It's really interesting.
No stress, isn't it?
interesting. No stress, sir.
Interesting, right?
Okay. Firstly, folks, you might have seen my status on Tuesday evening that we completely dismantled the discount enrollments. That you know it, right? Many of you know about it, right? We completely closed the discount enrollments. Many folks called me on Wednesday stating that, can I avail it? Again, I put status 2 times. No discount enrollments available because we already crossed 75. Usually for your batch also, we restricted with 70. 35 is also 70. But again, we opened 5 because seeing the number of traffic on some of the things will reopen. One of the folks asked, what is a reopen site? See, suddenly if a person comes and he locks it and he changes mind, right? Obviously that gets reopened. He'll post it to the next batch like that. So that time it reopens. So reopen is not in my hands, basically. Till the session gets started, this reopening would be reopen, especially not open, reopenings would be not in my hands, right? So that time I put a status. 2 of the folks got be serious on Wednesday that they spoke with me on Tuesday. By the time they called me on Wednesday, the enrollments are over. Then immediately they started shouting at me, at least not shouting. They started questioning me, sir, you told me discounts is available. Come on. It's all about first come, first serve. That's it. We still extended more. But however, that we opened 5 more on the Tuesday morning. Out of that, again, 2 or 3 got locked. So few of the folks will say, no, Sai, I'll attend the demo session and I'll lock it. I'll go for the general. Few folks will say, hi, I'll go for general because I don't want to take a chance immediately. Obviously, they're strangers. They need some trust on us. Obviously, they attend live and they decide, okay, let's go for general. So that's obviously would be there. That's the reason discount enrollments filling would be faster initially. Then slowly it slows down. The reason, obviously, like all your referrals should have already logged. That's the first thing. Since we have 2 or 3 available, kindly ask them to call only me. This could be a last quota. We cannot open more. This could be a very last quota on the discount enrollments. So please ask your referrals to call me directly. No Hema, no Gopati. And regarding the referral cashbacks, we have so many limits, folks, but somehow we have managed somehow to get that done. I believe some of the folks should have got already the referral cashbacks of this batch, correct? All of you basically. 34 batch, and we still had to give the complete ones. Totally, we have settled around 267 so far. I think almost 270. 3 of the folks I have to update. So for remaining referral cashbacks, we'll be definitely settling because of UPI limits we have. Overseas folks will be started shortly. We started with Indian folks first. The reason they have the GPay and UPI folks. That's the reason we have started with the Indian folks first. That's the reason almost 267, we have 268, we already settled. 270 approximately, we already settled. Then the remaining depends on our limits. We'll be settling almost around 200 are available. 200 to 220 are still there. Once we confirm that it is done, then if it does not reach to you, just reach out to me or call me so that we can immediately send that. Right? These many folks is already sent. Regarding the referral for batch 36, you will get once they pay later. All right, that's one of the updates. We are the folks asked me, hey, when 36 gets solved? No. 36 batch will be settled by April. That's an update regarding the referral cashbacks as well as the enrollments. The only point of contact is only me. Folks, there is no final quota available going forward. Mostly will be closing the discount enrollments. Ask referrals to call only me. All right, fine then. Folks, shall we take a short break and meet back?
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, folks. Let's meet back. Stay in the meeting. Let's go with the jar deployment, then the production deployment. Thank you, folks. Yeah. Okay, I made it in 10:16. Okay. I know it's a funny time, but still 10:16. Make it 10:16. Thank you. Stay in the meeting. Stay in the meeting. Yeah, folks, am I audible?
Yes, I.
Okay. All of you have your shell, everything open. The reason we are going to start a short deployment hands-on that we'll discuss. Okay. Most probably we'll be discussing on the command runner run, for which you need all your. I'll schedule it today itself. Scheduling part, I'll do it so that no confusions on that area. One sec, folks. Yeah. Fine. Let's get started. Folks, all of you ready?
Yes, sir.
Ready, Sai.
Yes, I.
Get it started. Now, fine. Simple. In the nutshell, so far what we did, we have totally 3 steps. Step 1, read URL data, process it, write to S3. Step 2, read S3 data, which is this S3. These two are same. Process it, write to S3. Sorry, write to RDBMS.
RDBMS.
Yes.
Step 3, read S3 data, Avro and Parquet data, processes, write to S3. Totally 3 steps we have. All of you agree my point, right? Done. Now concentrate. Now, before I take it as a jar to the production or whatever, I have to test my deployment as well. See, development is not just about just the developing the code. You have to do the deployment as well. Those 3 steps are available right now. Now, what I have to do, right? Check here. Development is done. Now, develop the deployment script. All of you understood this? Develop the deployment script. How to develop the deployment script? What is the steps to develop the deployment script? Step 1. Create a jar in Eclipse or IntelliJ. All of you understood this one? Create a jar in Eclipse as well as IntelliJ. Upload the jar. Step 2 is upload the jar to the S3 location. Step 3. Create a EMR step execution with these 3 steps. How many steps we have? Again, I repeating you, how many steps we have? 3 steps we have. We have to develop the deployment script with these 3 steps. Concentrate. Please concentrate. Sorry. I'll open the questionnaire round post this deployment, folks. Concentrate. Create EMR step execution with these 3 steps. Now concentrate. All right. Now I'm going to my IntelliJ, Eclipse, save everything. All the 3 steps are done. Now develop the jar. I'm still in the development. Install package. All right. Install package. Build is done. Build is successful. Now, if I go to the backend location, I see that jar should have got developed. The backend location of this S3. Sorry, Windows. This jar is ready. Correct, all of you? Is this your jar? Right? Meanwhile, you can test this jar, whether I have all the objects. Using 7-zip, open archive. This is your package. These are your 3 objects. Yes or no, folks? 3 objects I have here.
Right.
Done. Meanwhile, what I do, I'll remove all the necessary S3 folders which got created during the development. I will remove the API data. Is this your API data generated as a part of your development? Yes. I'm removing it. Delete this. Because now, before development has done that, now jar has to do the same. This is yours. This is a first output I deleted. I mean to say, I'm flushing out everything. This I have to flush out. Then what I have to flush out? Tell me. I have to flush out what? RDBMS. I will drop the whole table now. That's okay. That's it. Drop. If you check, such table does not exist. Gone. The table is gone. Does not exist here. This also flushed away. This also flushed away. Now what I have to remove? Tell me.
Available non.
That also has to be removed. That is inside dest folder.
Dest.
Removed. That's it. Now, this I have developed during my development. This generated during my development. Now, I have to achieve this with deployment using the jar deployment. In the dev environment only. I am still in the dev environment. What I am doing, I'll generate the jar and I'll deploy it in the dev environment first. And check whether the target got generated, 2 sections got generated. That I'll check it. Whether the 2 outputs got generated. Everything I'll test it. But test your jar in your dev environment first. Got the clarity, all of you? Yeah?
Yes.
Done. I removed all the outputs. All the outputs I removed. Right? This one I removed first. This one I removed next. This one I removed finally. Now the same has to get generated, folks, using my jar. This has to get generated and RDBMS has to get generated and this has to get generated using my jar right now. Okay, how to do it? Now first, I develop my jar. This jar is looking perfect. First, I open the Spark shell, develop the code and put it in my Eclipse. Jar is developed. Fine. Now go to EMR. This is my EMR, folks. Okay. Now in this EMR, cluster is your development. Step execution is your deployment. You got the point, all of you? Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Read what it says. Read what it says. With step execution, EMR will create, cluster gets created, execute the steps, terminate when done. See, cluster is, EMR creates a cluster with specified application. This is just a development. But what is step execution? It creates the cluster, run the steps, terminate the cluster. Going with the step execution now. How many steps I have in total? Now tell me.
3 steps.
Three steps. Before that, folks, very, very important. Before that, very, very important. Do I need to copy the jar to the S3 location? Correct? Done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now concentrate. Now concentrate, folks. Please, folks, this is really, really very important. Please, okay. Now have a check. This is your S3. This is your EMR. Have the look like this. Sorry. This is my S3. This is my EMR. Now what I'll do? First, I'll copy my jar to my EMR, to my S3 location. Let's copy it to the dev Zayo bucket. I already have a jar. Let me remove it. Go to the dev Zayo. In this dev Zayo, copy this jar for now. Upload. Do my jar got uploaded? All of you here?
Yes, sir.
My jar got uploaded. Have a check. My jar got uploaded to my dev Zayo folder. Dev Zayo folder. Now, my jar got uploaded here. All good. My jar got uploaded to this S3 location. So far, all good. Now check. I'm going to put one statement. Folks, one sec. I'm giving a 30 seconds time. If anyone wants to leave the meeting. Before I start, I don't want to waste my time for the unnecessary useless folks here. Very simple. Let me put that word useless. That's okay with me. I don't want to waste my energy for the unproductive, ignorant, careless, useless folks. In your sense, I will be useless for you. I'm okay with it. But I don't want to waste my 1 minute of energy for such kind of people. 1 minute of my time, I don't want to waste. Giving 30 seconds of time, leave. Leave the meeting immediately. I don't want such people in my meeting. 30 seconds. If you leave after 30 seconds, walk my words, like how I discontinued 35 people, I'll discontinue you also. Walk my words. 30 seconds time. Dare if you do it. $30 seconds I'm giving you. Okay. Now, if anyone leave right now for the next one hour, you will not join back. You're out of Zayabron. Your access will be revoked. Partial refund will be done. Well, trust my words. Okay. Right? It's not so easy session today to be ignorant or you do what you like. Okay. Leave immediately. Leave immediately. I don't want such people in my meeting. Okay. Now let's get started, folks. Now, my jar got uploaded. Now, how many steps I have to create in my EMR? Tell me. How many steps I have to run in EMR? Totally.
3 steps.
3 steps I have to run in my EMR. Totally 3 steps we need it in EMR. Okay. 1 minute, folks. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Now, I have totally a jar, folks. I have a single jar. In this jar, how many steps I have to run using this jar? 3 steps. All right. In this 3 steps, I have to run how many objects I have in this jar? How many objects I have in this jar? Tell me. Three jars. 3 jars. What you have to do, run the EMR. First, you have to run API extract object. All of you agree my point? Which object you have to run? First step, API extract object. What is the second object you have to run? Tell me.
Load to RDS.
RDS writes object. See the names correctly. RDS write object. Yes or no, folks? Can you see these 3 steps here? Basically, yeah. 3 objects I have. First, you have to run API extract. Then you have to run like RDS writes. Then you have to run custom. All the 3 objects belong to which jar? Tell me. This jar. Pakka? All of you so far?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Done. Now, how can we do it? How to achieve it? 3 steps I have to run. Now, how can I achieve it? Now, please concentrate. I'll go step by step. 3 objects has to be run, one after other. How many Spark submits I have to do? Tell me. How many Spark submits I have to do? 3 Spark submits I have to do. First Spark submit should run this object. Second Spark submit should run this object. Third Spark submit should run this object. Step-by-step procedure. Now concentrate. Folks, all of you ready to, shall we get started with the deployment now? Yeah? Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Concentrate.
Yes, sir.
Now go to AWS. Now go to EMR. This is your EMR. In this EMR, go to the step execution. Then immediately it will ask you to add the steps. Which step I have to add? Tell me. Spark application. Correct, all of you? Done? Configure. Give some name for it. API extract step. Give some name for it. Extract step. As of now, I'm running in the client mode. That's okay. Spark submit options. I'll go from the start again, folks. Have a check. I went to the step execution quota. In this step execution, I went to the Spark application, configure. Give some name. API extract step. This is my first step. Concentrate on this configuration. Let it run in the client mode for now. I'll tell you the reason. Now tell me, right, folks? Now concentrate. If I want to run a Spark submit, what is a Spark submit options? Spark submit. hyphen master yarn.
Master class.
You create folks,
Cluster.
deploy mode would be cluster.
Cluster mode.
Would be cluster or client. For now, use client for now. Then executor course, executor memory you give, right? All of you.
Yes.
As of now, don't give us memory tuning. Hardly we're running in 2-node cluster.
Class.
Hyphen class. Pack dot. What is my object name?
API.
Class name dot.
API extract.
API extract. Correct, all of you? This is my first run. And jar path. Where I have my jar?
S3.
Which location I have my jar?
S3 source.
S3 location. Correct? Is this your Spark Summit to run API extract? All of you agree my point?
Yes.
Yeah. This is your step 1 Spark submit. What is step 2 Spark submit? Step 2 Spark submit would be what I have to run as step 2. Tell me which object I have to write. Tell me.
RDS
RDS
rights.
rights.
Spark submit. Same, okay? Spark submit. Master yarn. Go on mute. Deploy mode. Client. Hyphen class. Pack dot RDS rights. Correct, all of you? Which I am writing this time? RDS rights.
That's right.
And path the same jar. Same jar I have my RDS rights. All of you agree my point on Spark Summit?
Yes, sir.
Folks, this is your first Spark Summit, which holds the API extract. This is your RDS rights, which writes the data to the RDBMS. Step 3, same Spark Submit, master yarn, deploy mode client, hyphen class, pack dot, what is my last one? Tell me.
Custom.
Custom is my object. And the same jar. Do I have the object in the same jar? All of you? Correct?
Yes, sir.
So folks, totally 3 Spark Summits. The first Spark Summit would be API extract. Second is RDS rights. Third one is custom. 3 steps, 3 Spark Submits. But is anything is incomplete here?
Executor
course.
No. That you can tune it. Those are optional. You can tune it. But this will not, without executor course, memory, it will work. Memory tuning, without it, it will work. But something we didn't give, that will not work. Especially these 2 steps, it will not work.
Jars.
Username
Jars.
Folks, do we need extra jars or not to run this
Yes.
RDS rights? We need RDBMS jars. To run this custom file, we need Avro jar. Yes or no? Right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So is it not we need to include the packages, basically?
Yes.
Folks, package is important, okay? Please do not forget. This is my MySQL package. Include it in your Spark Submit. You got the point, all of you here? Yeah? Second jar, second path. You need
Avro.
jar. All of you agree my point or not? These 2 packages?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry. I iterate it once, folks. Definitely, I definitely have to iterate it. I know that because it's not so easy. Fine. Many things you have to remember. That's the reason. So, step 1 is API extract. Step 2 is RDS rights. Step 3 is custom file. But we need these packages. Why? We are dealing with what, folks? Extra jars. Yes or no? All of you so far? Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Done. Now depends on this. Create your Spark Summit. Have a check. Have a check. This is my EMR. Create step by step. 3 steps I have to create. Configure. First step, configure. API extract step. Client mode.
Right.
Now tell me, what is that? Master yarn. It is asking Spark Summit option. Master yarn. Folks, have a check. Class is this. Agree my point or not, all of you? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Application location. What is application location? You know what is application
Jar
location?
location.
Jar path.
Jar path. Give the jar path. Give the jar path here. Give add. Automatically, it generates a Spark Summit command. Can you see that, all of you? After filling the details? Yeah?
Yes, sir. Package.
Package. This is the first step, right? First step, the packages are not required. I repeat it again. Have a check. I open my, folks, I open my fresh EMR. Cluster. Have a check. Deployment cluster. Step execution. Spark application. Configure. Give some name. API extract date step. Let it be client mode. Give the Spark Summit options here. Master yarn. Class name. Give the application path. You got it clear, all of you? You added. First step added. Which step added here? Tell me which step added here. Tell me.
API.
API extract. This step I added. Done. First step is added. Done. What's the next step? Tell me.
RDS reads.
Now RDS writes. Give Spark application. Configure. RDS writes. Client mode. Now, master yarn. Packages. You got the point, all of you, what I'm going through?
Yes, sir.
Class name. Application jar. Same jar. Add. Can you see Spark Summit get generated, all of you? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Done. What's the third step? Tell me.
Well.
Customized step. Client mode. Master yarn. Packages is this. Class is this. Same jar. Yes or no, folks? Paka? Basically. Add it. So totally, how many steps I have added to this cluster? Tell me.
3 steps.
3 steps. This I added. This I added. This I added. Same jar. No change in my jar, but only the object changes. Correct? All of you. First step, this will run. Second step, this will run. Third step, this will run. That's it. Now, 3 clusters or whatever, 3 clusters and everything. Create the cluster. That's it. 3 steps added. Create the cluster. That's it. Now, what this step will do, what this EMR cluster will do, it gets started. First, it gets started. Then it will run the steps. Then it gets terminated automatically. You got the point, all of you? What I mean? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Have a check. It gets started first. Run the steps. Terminated automatically. Can I able to check the step side? Yes, you can go to the steps. Can you see somewhere or steps here? All of you.
From the last before.
Can you see that steps? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now go inside the steps. You'll have the step details here. Is it your step details? Yeah. How many steps I have?
3 steps.
Uh-oh. Okay. Totally 3 steps we have. Now what we'll do, once the cluster is on, this step gets executed, you'll see the data. Next, this step, then this step. This is the orchestration of step execution. You got the point, all of you? Yeah. Now, what are the steps? Have a check. First step, cluster gets created. Cluster gets created. Then, execute 3 steps. What are the 3 steps? API extract, RDS writes, custom steps. Once it completes all the steps, automatically cluster will go to termination state. Is it not completely automated? At least partially automated as of now.
Yes, sir.
Yes. This is partially automated, not complete automation. I'll come to it. Still, I'm making manual only. Still, I'm checking my jar actually. I did not automate it completely. I'll automate it completely. Okay. Yeah. Folks, this 100% folks. I'm removing the folks straight away. After that, I'll talk to them. Usually I talk to them and remove them. I'll immediately remove them who leave. Okay. I don't want to waste my unnecessary productive time to the useless people here. I'm very much straight on my point. Taking that much of efforts, that much of preparation, explanation preparation, step-by-step execution. Do you think it's so easy? People just come like that and leave like a hell. Maybe. Oh, auto-termination not enabled. Okay, let's wait.
Yeah, I was about to tell that.
No, cluster
Sai,
auto-terminates here. Have a check here.
okay. But while
After the
creating,
last-
you disable that
No,
checkbox.
no, that's idle. That's idle. That's idle.
Oh.
Idle hour. After the last step, cluster auto-terminates. You can see this. Yeah. Now,
can't we see logs?
we can see. Just give me some time. We can see. Folks, it went into running state. Can you see that, all of you? Yeah. Right?
Yes, sir.
Now go to the steps. Now each step starts running. Have a check. Slowly have a check. After every step, I'll show you the output. After every step, I'll show you the output. First step got completed. Can you see that, all of you? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Now go to S3. You'll see the API extract data. Can you see API data here?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Done. First step is completed. Now second step is in progress. Check, check, check. Now second step is in progress. After the second step, you'll see data comes up. Actually. So far table got created. Data is about, data is about to write. Right? Now let it run. It will take some time. You saw that, right? That time development itself, it took a bit of time, correct? Hardly 2 minutes, 3 minutes it took time. So API's extract step is completed. Now RDS writes is in progress. Folks, now my cluster got created, green. Now API extract is green. Correct, all of you so far? So far? Done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
RDS writes is happening now. It is in running state. After RDS writes, custom will run. You got the point? So
Yes.
it's a step-by-step orchestration. It's a step-by-step orchestration. Think about the the flow First, I got the project requirement. Then I created my own cluster. Developed my code, put it into my Eclipse, created the necessary objects as a jar, copied the jar to a dev S3, and triggered the step execution. Now, step by step, each step will run, each object will run. You can see the details here also, folks. First step, if you elaborate it, you'll see this is your Spark Summit. If you elaborate it, you'll see this is your Spark Summit. All right. Okay. Where I can see logs. Sai, whether I can able to see logs? Yes. See the logs here. In case of any, you have controller syslog error out and stream. Go to the error. You'll have any error, you will see it. Output. Any output did I give any? Did you remember I gave a show in my, see, very simple. Did you see my show here? All of you in my code?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is showing out of this. Can you see that std out is showing show here? Actually.
Yes, yes.
Now this is completed, folks. The second step is completed. Yes. Second step is
Yes, sir.
completed. Now go to RDS and check it. You'll see the API data coming up. Second step is also completed. Now it is running third step. Available customers, unavailable customers. All right. Available customers, unavailable customers. Output, I already saw this API extract. RDS writes are done. Now it's a customized step. This is also completed. All the steps are completed, all of you. Yeah. Now let's go and check whether the dest folder got created. Yes. Yes. Is it done, all of you? Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you go to EMR, I'll refresh this button, see the status of this EMR. It automatically gets into terminating state. Got the point, all of you? Basically.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Switched on, steps executed, switch off. How is this? Okay.
Which one, sir? Interesting.
Good, sir. Excellent.
Hope I'm not confusing you here, right? If I'm not wrong.
Awesome.
No, Sai.
All right. But you need to practice. You need to revisit the video for sure. You got the point, all of you?
Yes, Sai.
Very, very minute informations I give. Like from the development till the development, again the steps creation, again the deployment, very, very minute informations I give. Steps are completed. Folks, my jar ran, yes or no? Correct? Done. My jar has completely run. Now, in the nutshell, see it what I just did. Created my own cluster. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Developed my own code in Spark Shell. Tested the outputs. Put the code in the Eclipse with 3 steps. Generated the jar. Copied the jar to AWS S3. Created a step execution script. All of you, yes or no? I mean to say, created a step execution flow and tested data. Yes or no, folks? Pakka? So far? Now, get the deployment script. Last step, folks. I created my cluster and done one. This is done. Yes. I developed my code in Spark Shell. Yes. Tested the output. Yes. Put the code in Eclipse, yes. Generate the jar is pakka. Copied the jar to S3, it is done. Created my step execution flow and tested the data. This is also done. Yes or no, folks? Now, get the deployment script. What is deployment script? Folks, what is deployment script? You tell me. Daily I go to production cluster and keep creating my own cluster with step execution. You tell me that. You tell me.
No.
Folks, I go to production cluster every day. Hey, create a cluster. Create my production run. And step execution. Do you think I have to create daily on that? It's
No.
not. Is it automation? No.
No.
No. That's not the way. We do not do that. We need to get a deployment script. Now, I performed a deployment. I created a cluster. Run 3 steps, termination. Everything has to get automated without my presence. So I should not go every day to create a step execution cluster where I can get the deployment script. Folks, shall we get the deployment script? Ready? Whatever I did right now, I have it at the back end. Deployment script should have generated. You got it, all of you? Yeah. Now what I'll do, I will remove everything again. I'll remove the API data. I'll remove API data. Right? And I will remove the RDBMS data. And I will remove the destination data as well. As of now. Still, I'm in the development phase only. I'm removing it everything. Folks, you got it right. What am I doing?
Flushing everything.
Everything I'm removing it. All the outputs I remove. Now, where can I get a deployment script? AWS CLI export. Can you see something here? All of you?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Click it. Oh my goodness. Is it not a crap of script? Yes or no? Yeah. This is your deployment script. How many of you panic to see this? Sai, what is this?
Me, Sai.
Me, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's do one thing. You need not to know everything. I will select few things. Possible to see only that, all of you? Only 3, only those 3. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Consider only the highlights here. Now check one after other. I'll do. I'll tell you. First, create a cluster. Correct, all of you? Can you see that, all of you?
Yes.
Second, create with Hadoop and Spark. Do 3 Spark submit. Spark submit, Spark submit, and Spark submit. Auto terminate. Got the point, all of you? See
Yes,
the
sir.
automation. See the automation. Create a cluster with Hadoop and Spark. Do Spark submit 1, Spark submit 2, Spark submit 3. Auto terminate. Now I'll tell you the best one. This is your shell script. Which script is this, folks? Shell script. What is this script? What is this all about, side? Have a check here. This is your complete script. That auto ls you can remove. Okay, one second. Yeah. Now, this is your shell script. Correct, all of you? Correct? What this script says, create cluster with Hadoop and Spark. Run this first Spark Summit, second Spark Summit, and third Spark Summit, auto terminate after that. Can you see the Spark Summit parameters here? Let me divide it like this. How many steps I'm executing here? You tell me.
3 steps.
3 steps. Create the cluster with Hadoop and Spark. Run this 3 Spark Summit. Get auto terminated. This is your executable script. We call it as an executable script, right? Why I call it as an executable script? Okay, let's give some name. Can you tell me some name? Can I make it as a project deploy? All of you. What is the name I gave to this cluster? Project deploy. This is your executable script, final deployment script. Copy this. Go to your shell where you configured access key and secret key. Shoot it. Shoot it. That's it. Cluster got created. Can you see that, all of you? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Now go back and check. A cluster should have got starting state. Project deploy. That script, that automation will be triggered with 3 steps. Is it automated further?
Fine.
And goes into auto termination. So this is furthermore automation. This is your final copy of automation. This is your final copy of automation. What am I saying it here? Create the cluster, do 3 Spark Summits, auto terminate. This is the complete project deployment, folks.
Right, but this S3 jar file need to be deployed onto the production S3 bucket, right?
We have added the packages na, in the
on,
submit in
hold
the
on,
command itself.
Hold on. Please hold on. Kindly hold on. Requesting you to hold on. Don't create any rupture here. Don't give so many questions out here. I'll come. Wait. Going step by step. Don't give a confusion here. I'll explain it. I'm still in the dev environment. Please try to understand. I didn't go to production yet. See, this is a very huge topics, folks. Stopping in between, giving some questions in between will definitely create a lot of rupture here. Wait for it. I'll wait for it. I'll come. So the cluster is getting created with 3 steps inside it. Now it is in the starting state. Still, I'm in the dev environment only. Where I'm testing it, folks? In which environment I'm testing here? Where I'm testing this? Tell me. Still in the dev only. I develop my code in dev. Testing my jar deployment in dev. Everything I'm testing in the dev only. Wait for the production. I'll come. Okay. Folks, now it is configuring the cluster. Now, can I consider this is my final copy of deployment? Yes or no?
Yes,
Basically, final copy. This itself create a cluster. This itself do a Spark Summits. This itself auto terminates. Now my cluster would start. This script also to be tested. Cluster would start. Steps, slowly it will go into running state. It is still in the configuration state. It will go to the running state. Wait for it to running state. Still I'm in the dev environment only. Still I'm in the dev environment only. Okay. I'm clearing it more and more clearer right now. Still the steps has not yet started. Let it start. Running the steps. Folks, can you see it running the steps now? Step 1 completed. Can you see that, all of you? As usual.
Yes, sir.
If the step 1 is completed, go back and check API data should have got generated. Step 2. It will take 2 minutes. How much time it took in the the before phase?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So this time it obviously takes 2 minutes. 25 seconds it is running. Logs, you can check it out here. Like respective logs, every logs can be checked out here. So, folks, who created the cluster right now? Did I do manual creation? Did I do manual
Automatic.
creation? No.
No, sir.
This script automated it. Correct? Basically, this script automated it. This script itself is creating a cluster. This script itself doing a 3 Spark summits. This script itself is doing auto automation. Now, once this script is done, all right, 1 minute is done. Let it done. Let it done. So far, the table should have got created, but no data. I think so, mostly. Table should have got created. Second target, okay. Second target, table should have got created. Now the second step is running. It is in the running state. Folks, can you revisit the video today? I will upload will take time, so I'll give you directly the drive link.
Sure, sir.
Okay. I'll give directly the drive link. You can download and watch it. Please,
Yeah,
this step,
sure,
this
fine.
is very important.
Okay, sir.
So many steps we have discussed so far. I told you, right, it is a very heavy session because from the development till the deployment till the production, everything I'm going to show it in a same script. Tomorrow you're going to deploy your own script. Tomorrow you're going to deploy your own script in this AWS. Before that, you must have to watch this video, folks. Please, okay? Please. Second step is running it. Everyone watched the Git video. Everyone watched the Git video.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You got questions from Git in the interview? Anyone? No one got questions from Git?
I got Sai.
Faster, buddy. Fast. Let it complete, folks. Let it complete. Config file that is to get discussed. Mostly the parameterization config file we can discuss tomorrow. Here I'm hard coding everything. Folks, can you see it is completed? Now,
Yes,
if I
sir.
go and check, API data table should have been available. Done. Second step is also done. Now it is running the third step. Folks, I did not create this step execution manually. Who created this step execution completely? It's a
Automated.
deployment script. We call it as a command runner script. What is its script name?
Command run.
Command runner. Please be very clear when you mention about your thing in your interviews. We automated it through command runner CLI script. Command runner CLI script. This is your command runner. You can see here also. You'll see which script is that, folks? Tell me.
Command run.
Command runner. Command runner. Okay. Now, completed, folks. All steps completed. Cluster goes into what state? It gets terminated. Now, if I go and check the S3 location in the dest folder, you will see available and available. It's furthermore automation. Yes or no, folks? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sai, this is your script, Sai. Where can I schedule it? That's the next question, right? I'm still in the dev environment. Please, I didn't go to production yet. Wait, hold on. This is your script, correct, all of you? Yes or no? Pakka, this is your gold script,
Yes, sir.
correct? If you check, if I paste it again it starts. I just pasted it and triggered it. Again, it starts. It creates a cluster. Again, it starts. I just repasted it and executed it. Again, it is starting. Can you see that, all of you? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, terminating it. This is your gold copy script. This is your gold copy script. All right. What is this gold copy script? If I shoot this command, it will run. If I shoot this command, it will run. Now, how this is my final copy. This is my very final copy. This is my gold script, which creates a cluster, run 3 Spark summits, auto terminate. What Sai will do in real time in a scheduling part, we have multiple options, but one of the options is we create an EC2 mission. What we create, folks, in real time? What is that? EC2 mission. EC2 mission. Virtual box. Okay. We create a virtual box. Open this virtual box. Sorry. This is EC2, okay? This is not EMR or something. We created one EC2. All right. This is my EC2 user. This EC2 runs 24/7. We can schedule it in the cron tab. Where can we schedule it, folks? Cron tab. If I want to execute this every morning, 8 o'clock, what you have to do?
Schedule it.
Schedule it at 8 o'clock. Can you see that, all of you, what I just did? This is cron tab. We give this. That's it. This whole script get executed at 8 o'clock in the morning. I scheduled in the cron tab. But as of now, I'm not going till that moment. Basically, as of now, this is just a development script. Now, folks, one quick recap. Check here. First, I got the requirement, correct? Everyone agree?
Yes, sir.
Created a, what is the next step? Created a development cluster.
Yes, sir.
Opened my Spark shell. Developed my code. Tested the result. Put that steps code to my Eclipse. Generated the jar. Tested the jar using step execution. Yes or no? Manually. Correct?
Yes,
Then got the deployment script. Now all of you can connect the dots now, basically.
Yes, sir.
Done. Now, how to productionalize it? How to productionalize it? Have a check. Have a check. Folks, last step today. Are all of you ready for this? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I.
Have a check. We usually parameterize it, but as of now, I'm not talking about the parameterization. It will be so heavy for you. Now, similarly to the dev bucket, I have prod bucket. You got my point, all of you, what I mean? Similarly, I have dev bucket. What I have in the production? What I have another
Prod bucket.
Prod
EC2,
bucket.
EC2.
No, prod bucket. Correct, all of you? Let me 1 sec. Dev bucket. Just give me a minute, some setup if I didn't do that. Folks, definitely you have to rewatch it, folks. You got it? Yeah, you definitely have to rewatch it. Because like it cannot understand. See, you can understand step by like at least a kind of a chunk to chunks, but you will not understand the complete picture unless until you revisit it. You cannot remember. I'm telling you, right? This is not so easy session. So please. Fine. Folks, just like dev bucket, can you see something as prod bucket here, all of you? Yeah. Prod is also having same source and destination. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But this is prod. I'm talking about this guy now. Same data is available here also. This is my prod bucket. Same extracted data I have, Avro data I have, like that. All right. Same destination folder is empty right now. Now, what we usually do, once a development is completed, script is tested, everything is tested. All right. We change this code according to the production bucket using the config file. Using what, folks? Using config file. All right. Config file automation. That if I say it right now, it would be so huge and heavy. You want to see production tomorrow or today? I mean, it's up to you. Just one change. But you want to see production tomorrow or today?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, I.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, sir.
Okay. Tomorrow is fine, right? Yeah.
Tomorrow is
Now,
tomorrow with all configurations.
yeah, we can do a config file automation also. Now, I know it's so heavy. That's the reason I gave this option. But production is, yeah, if meanwhile you have any interviews today, mostly may not because of festive, but if you got any this, say that you will design the script with respect to the production. You got it, all of you? You design this script with respect to the production and give it, and the Git part I'll talk tomorrow. This is the whole automation. First, I got the requirement, created a dev cluster, opened the Spark shell, developed my code, tested the result, put the steps to an Eclipse, generated the jar and upload it to S3, tested the jar using step execution manually, then got the deployment script. This is your gold copy script. What this script will do, as I told you, shoot it. Blindly go and shoot it and schedule it by cron tab or control M or NiFi or whatever. This executes and generate a cluster every time with all the necessary scripts available. Understood so far? Development part. Yeah.
Yes, I.
Was it so heavy or so? Wait for it, Anant. Wait for it, Anant. Don't raise your hand. Because today is a complete session only I handled, right? I didn't give a chance to do execution on doubt sessions also. How was the session today? Was it okay?
Very good.
Okay, sir. It's interesting.
Very
Most interesting.
informative, very. Most interesting
Step by step, whatever.
Is it top-notch advancement?
There is a lot of
Yeah, it is.
memorization. Yeah.
Yeah, there is
The
a
details,
project
as you
passage
said.
sign.
See, this is a project deployment, boss. See, when you talk about this projects in your mostly now concentrate now you got some of the answers in the interviews which you are getting as a questions. What you do, how you do, correct? Where you start, where you end, how you develop it, what is the day-to-day activity, like you how you handle cloud environment. Tomorrow you're going to do your deployment. You're going to create your own clusters tomorrow, right? I'll give a jar, you can run it, but I'll be giving this script for you. You have to deploy the scripts tomorrow. And I'll be giving a new access key and secret key tomorrow. No, if you miss it, you missed it. Post session, I'll disable that access key secret key. I can take a chance on S3, but I cannot take a chance on EMR. EMR is a highly costliest service, right? I cannot take a chance on EMR, right? So if you create some clusters and leave it alone, if I don't check it, then a lot of costing will be declared here. So tomorrow I'll create a new access key and secret key. Post that gets disabled. All right. Now all of you, this is your project deployment. Okay. Command runner, develop your code. Now, one quick information I thought of, I believe I give in the last before I end up and give the open. Folks, let's handle questionnaire on post 11:30 itself, straightforward. Now, today we connected the dots. What happens in development? How we develop it? How we develop in the shell? How you put our code in Eclipse? Generating the jar. And we're putting that, generating the jar and copying it and pasting it and everything. We saw that so far. And very important point, tomorrow is a production deployment plus your execution plus Spark Hive integration. PySpark or Spark Hive integration, when I choose, I believe some of the questions you got posted on Spark Hive integration in the interviews, right? Basically, how the integration happens, correct? Anyone received? I see some questions are wrapping up on that. Anyone got Spark Hive integrations here? Nobody got.
Yes, I.
Anyway, I see 4 folks has almost posted how you read and write to Hive. That will be handled tomorrow. Those who joined today, really thanks. Those sacrificed your time. This is a very crucial time, I know, spending time with your family. But kindly consider, I also have festival. I also have done that, but no other option. Duty is always a duty for me. So meet you tomorrow. What is today's task? I'll give you a very simple task. You want to see that? Right? What I want you to do is, today we saw a step-by-step process. Correct, all of you? Correct? Can you create your own passage of understanding what you've gone through today? Is it possible?
Yes, I.
Yeah.
Yes, I sure.
Yes, yes.
You don't know the power of it. This is a very powerful, folks. What is your understanding? Create your own passage. Write it your passage, okay? Just post it your passage in our this one, in our batch groups. What is your understanding? Individual understanding. Very understanding. I'll tell you the power of it. First, you will take out the words from your understanding. You will try to explore it. Second important point, you will see what's others understood. If you missed anything, you can see other passages also. You'll see how they're going. That I need you to do it. Mostly by 1 o'clock, I'll have the EMR drive link. I'll directly give this video link to you instead of taking time and uploading website, everything. I'll directly give the drive link. Please rewatch it at least by 1.2, at least in 1.2x. Okay. I itself giving you the option. Okay. Tomorrow, your project deployment. Then what's next? Spark Hive integration. We have the production deployment. Okay, folks, possible? Yeah.
Possible.
Let's do that. And regarding again, reference, please ask them to call only me. No other person. If I'm busy, I'll recall them, but I should only the person who should get a call. No Hema, no Gomati, since we have very limited available. It may not reopen it again or open it again. So that's the reason. Any referrals, ask him to call. Thanks a lot, all of you who already referred your folks. Regarding the referral cashbacks, you'll be getting the running status also, like how I'm putting it every day. Thanks a lot, folks. Ask your referrals to call only me. And again, I'm telling you, other folks.
Once again,
Sorry,
I'll take a screenshot of the steps.
I'll send all the notes. I'll send all the notes. All the notes I'll send you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, folks, meet you tomorrow. Hope you get right. Yeah. Don't disappoint me. Do not disappoint me by not attending the sessions tomorrow. Please. Okay. We cannot get back this if you miss it. 3 to 4 times you have to iterate. Thanks a lot, folks. Hope you enjoyed the session. Those who have out, stay back. Others can leave.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sai. Happy Pukal.
Yeah. Happy Pongal.
Thank you, sir.
Let me send everything, folks.
Thank you, sir.
What and all you want.
Thank you, sir. Happy Pongal.
Happy Pongal, folks. So where I can send it, folks? What and all things? This steps, huh?
The steps and notepad, sir. But step 1, step 2, step. So requirement passage is that.
Uh, all sent in the announcement group. Okay. I believe everything I've sent. Yes.
Yeah, thanks,
Fine.
sir.
Just give me 1 minute, folks. I just need 2 minutes break. I'll be back. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Got Sandeep. Sandeep.
Hello, Sai.
Got Sandeep. Go ahead. Yeah. Sandeep.
Yes, Sai. So I was saying that, so okay, when we started the deployment, like we opened the Spark shell, right? So
Correct.
at that time, we created a cluster with EMR, right?
Correct.
So when there was the time for step execution, again, after once we like described all three submissions of Spark submit, and we confirmed that and added that, again there was a cluster was created for three clusters, right?
I re-executed again and again. Only one cluster got created with 3 steps. Only one
Okay.
created, Sandeep. How many I created? How many I shooted to create with 3 steps? Only one I shooted, correct? Only
Yes.
one I shooted. This one. Later on, this steps I manually shooted and showed it to you. Like, hey, it's deployment.
Okay.
Only one
In the same cluster, you okay.
Only one cluster created, executed the scripts, and got completed. That's it.
Okay. So in the same cluster, you were showing us the manual execution.
Exactly.
Okay. My next question, Sai, is not related to this project right now. What are the strategies of joins in SQL specifically?
What is strategies? What is it?
That question was put up on the
That's the
interview
next
side.
question
That's
you
why
have to
I'm
ask.
asking.
No, that's a question you have to ask him back. Strategist means what you see. The major problem is you don't question back the interviewers. If the question is not clear, you have to post back. Hey, I know what are joins, but what you're expecting it. What is not the strategy? See, naming conventions might change person to person. Many people do this mistake. What is the strategy mean? Are you asking about the use cases? Are you asking about when to use what? Are you using about the output? We have to post them, Sandeep.
Yeah. When to, like, for example, if you are combined, like, let's say, okay, in Spark, you use joins like inner, left, right, etc. But in SQL also, they are even in SQL or Spark also, you strategize how to strategize when to use how to strategize in SQL.
Depends
how
on
to
the
use
requirement. Depends on the data they're expecting. I'll do it.
Okay.
Simple. Depends on the data. I do it. That's the answer.
No, he was asking me tell me the 4 strategies how to went of joins in SQL.
They're asking simple left, right, full, and inner. That's what he's asking.
I answered that.
I
He
think
said no.
he was expecting types of joins.
No, yeah, I answered that only. But he said that no, that's not the answer. I'm expecting something else. So
You see, some questions we may not know what he's expecting. See, asking we can question them. What you're expecting? Don't tell me the answer, but what you're expecting, which way you're expecting, you can question them. See, I'm asking the same question.
Okay, fine. Let's.
I'll say 4 joins.
Mhm.
Tell me something.
Okay, so see, let's, for example, these are the joins like inner, left, right, and etc. So what is union?
What happened
Hello?
when you tried to execute that SQL this one? What happened when you hope you executed this document, right? Have you executed this document? Sandeep, be fast in your answer. Did you execute this document?
Yes.
What is the output you got during the union?
I told him that the
No, my
requirement
question to
was
you.
to
My
get
question to you. Let's not compare. My question to you. When executing this document, what happened during the union? Sandeep, are you there?
Yes. I
During executing this document, when you execute union, what
Yeah.
happened?
like it combined the whole all the like whatever we performed all the like let's say
Okay.
the
What is a
commands, the
union? During
tables,
the
whatever.
during the Spark revision, we have done the union. What happened? What is the output of it?
It combined all the rows like after
That's the only
changing
thing. That's
after
the only
like.
thing. See, that's it.
Okay.
We saw that. We
Okay.
saw union actually. Yes, we saw union.
Okay.
We saw union in the revision session of Spark. Okay, Sandeep? Anything else, Sandeep? People are waiting. Anything else?
Yeah.
Anything else, Sandeep?
No, sir, it's okay.
Okay. Marichami, Sandeep, please execute this with an understanding, because if you remember the revision session, we have union all the data frames. Data frame 1, CSV DF, JSON DF, Parquet DF, ORC DF, the XML DF, schema DF, row RDD DF, everything we union. You remember? I'm not sure.
I remember, sir. I remember
Yeah,
that we combined all the rows. We changed the
Exactly.
column name also to match it.
That should be the answer. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Marchan. Yeah.
So today for step 2, you connected to RDS, right?
Mm-hmm.
So without creating the table, how the Spark managed to create the table
No,
in
no.
RDS
I already told
outside
this.
the EMR?
I already told. No. I told that. I told that during RDS creation itself. I told that if the table does not exist, it will create. If the table already exists, you have to handle with modes.
Even it is outside EMR also.
Definitely. RDS is
Okay.
completely new, right? Host is completely new.
Okay.
Correct.
For all the databases, it will create, or only for
For all the
MySQL or
databases it
Postgre?
will create. For all the database it creates. Yes.
Okay, okay, sir. And one more thing, Sai.
Mm-hmm.
We have many expression in the Spark code, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, date conversion, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I thinking, right? ETL folks can easily able to crack those things. For other people who are coming from other development or
Mhm.
testing or support
Mm-hmm.
or non-IT folks, if you have any document, it would be easier to understand
What-
all those scenarios.
Can you tell me one of the topics which you failed to answer?
I mean, I'm not talking about the fail. We wanted to know how many
See,
conversions we have. I mean, what
have
kind
you
of
executed all
conversion we
this?
will do in ETL.
Have you completely executed this SQL document completely?
Yeah. Skill I completed.
You completed. Then use this one. This has all the functions.
Okay.
This URL has all the functions, but not many are used all the time. But
Yeah.
I'm just giving you. Okay. Use this URL.
Okay, sir.
Majorly, which I
And-
gave in the SQL
Yeah.
document, that's more than enough. But these are unnecessary functions also in this part. But since you asked, I gave you. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Jayanti?
Hi, sir. In Eclipse, it's showing some errors. It is not open, sir. Shall I
Seriously?
share? Okay.
Show me.
Yes, sir.
No, it's a JVM issue. Can you uninstall when you face this issue?
Thursday, from Thursday. Sir.
But Jayanti, why not you connect to the doubt session for this, Jayanti?
Yet I connected, sir. I
What she
asked to
told?
Hema. She said she sent error to you. She sent like that, sir. Yesterday
Let me
again
check on that.
I asked.
No. Have you removed Eclipse and restarted from Eclipse?
Fully
Completely remove the Eclipse. Have you tried it? Have you
I
tried
didn't
removing
try,
the
sir. I will try, sir.
remove the
Today I will
complete
try.
Eclipse or else leave this and re-extract
Okay,
the
sir.
Eclipse again. Take it to a separate folder.
Okay, sir.
Extract it here in a separate folder and reopen it. Right?
Okay, sir.
And
Okay, sir.
if still that doesn't work, you have to uninstall the Java completely, reinstall Java.
Java also. Okay, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir. I'll try, sir.
Anyway, do it in the D drive or some drive. D drive.
Okay, sir.
Extract it. If that still doesn't work, after you extract it, complete uninstall Java, reinstall Java. Add, you can do uninstall in the add or remove.
Okay,
Here.
sir.
Here you have Java, right?
Yes, sir.
Remove it here. Uninstall here.
Uninstall.
This one. This one you have to uninstall and reinstall from the start again with the one which I have given. Okay, Jayant?
Okay, sir.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Ram?
Thank you so much.
Sorry, the doubts are not regarding today's class, but from the
Okay.
interview.
Uh-huh.
I have 3 questions.
Mhm.
Number 1 is, interviewer asked me what is fat jar and how you.
Fat jar. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
good question. Okay, what's the next question?
He said whether you worked in UI.
Okay, Spark UI.
The third,
Mhm.
I asked him what is UI. You mean user interface? He said yes. I said the only user interface is
Yeah, Spark UI.
yeah.
Spark UI. Ram, what happened? Spark UI. We have it on the gold video, right?
Yeah, sorry. My bad.
See,
I got
I
it.
showed it in Spark UI, how the executor runs, where the job gets submitted, application ID, everything I showed in the gold video. Okay,
Yep,
what's
yep. Now I
the next
remember
one?
actually.
Mhm.
He asked for a git command.
Git commands.
Git command.
You can say that I have not, Git commands I hardly use, but I use Eclipse to the commits completely. Git commands are not mandatory in the projects, right? Git commands
Yeah,
are
that's
manual
what I
commands.
told him.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all. These 3 questions. The first
Okay.
one is fat jar, and I checked with the previous batch, Balaji, not previous batch, few
No,
batch.
fat jar is different.
Study.
I tell you what is fat jar. Okay. Fat jar in
Okay.
sense right now, today I generated only the program jar, right? Today I generate
Yep.
only the programming jar. That programming jar, only that particular
Yep.
program, correct? Simple.
Yep.
So, but if I add it in something in the Maven, this is my pom.xml. All right. If I add anything in this pom.xml, see, you remember the dependencies I told here.
Yep.
Here you put your dependency. What dependency? This you put here, right? Maven.
Yep.
Now there is a fat jar plugin. This build, you have to create it here. All right.
Okay.
By giving this, and if you run it as install, it may fail because my .m2 is not ready. Anyway, let's see. Now it will fail. That's okay. I have my M2 is not ready anyway. So by giving this as a built-in plugin, this jar will be part of my jar. You doesn't require that extra jar packages. You got it? Basically,
Yep.
my jar itself will have this jar inside it. This is a separate
Okay.
jar, correct? This is a MySQL
Yep.
jar.
Yep.
Now I should have got one jar here already. This is my jar, correct? Basically,
Yep.
yeah. This jar,
Yep.
this MySQL jar will be part of this jar. It together built
Okay.
together. That time it doesn't require extra dependencies. It directly takes insight from it.
Okay.
It doesn't require the packages,
Cool.
commands, and all. You got it?
Yeah, what I told him is, I told him like we'll give an XML code in Eclipse, and it downloads the required jar, which is a package.
No. Fat jar is generate this jar with these jars.
Okay.
It together generates this jar, basically.
Makes sense.
You got it?
Yep,
Yeah.
I got it.
Sure.
Thanks, Sai.
Thank you. Ankit? Oh, okay. What is the other question, Ram? Anything unanswered?
That's all.
Okay, thank you. Ankit?
Yes, I have today class question. So first time when we created a jar and we put it, we will test it. So first time we have to do manually only. First time.
Correct. Yes.
Hello. Yeah. So okay. After that, once we generated that, so this
Can I
script
have the
will
question,
generate
Ankit?
like.
No, I know. Go ahead
Yes.
with the question. What is the question?
Yeah. So I'm asking, what is the command runner that I didn't understand?
See, what I did, for example, here, this is my EMR, right? This is my EMR. Now I do everything manually. Create step execution, create configure, master yarn, application something. I'll create some IP here, right? Dot jar,
Okay.
add it, Create. See, I've done something manually here, correct? Basically,
Okay.
this is the whole script, what I just did as an automation. If I execute the same thing again, it will generate the same what I just did. I manually did that. Create a cluster, add a Spark job, auto terminate, everything I did it manually. Using that manual thing, it generated a script. This script, if I execute, it will do the same what I did manually. You got it?
Okay. So that is a command runner.
That's a command runner. Yes. This is a
So
command
we
runner.
will okay, and then we will run in the CLI.
We will run it in the scheduler. Okay, hey, run this. That's it. It gets scheduled, no? That keep happening, no?
Oh.
If I do this.
Okay.
Got it?
And one more, yeah, got it. And one more thing is, in IntelliJ, how we will generate the jar sign in IntelliJ?
No, you have the IntelliJ jar input. You have that IntelliJ setup video. Long back I posted in the announcement group.
Okay, I have.
That has a jar development.
For deployment jar.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
You have the whole Spark Summit deployment.
Okay.
Watch this video. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Madhavan?
Hi, Sai. Normally, API calls will take data from the RDBMS. So here, why we are pulling the data from Web API instead of using the scoop?
See, I have my data in Web API. My source is sitting in Web API. How can I use scope for that?
Means Web API is also take data from the RDBMS itself.
No,
right?
I never told that.
Okay.
I never told that. Web API data is a purely web services data. That data can come from anything. Mostly Web API data would be from Elasticsearch DB or Cassandra. Mostly Elasticsearch, in my understanding. Elasticsearch did NoSQL database. Not from RDBMS.
Okay,
RDBMS is structured data. API data is a JSON or XML. No, it will never come from RDBMS. No purpose.
Okay. Sai, what is the purpose of writing the data back to the RDBMS?
See, imagine that's another source team connected. See, they need that API extraction. See, I have extracted data. Some other team need this. Got the point? My work gets completed by routing it. They might have some work to do. They requested us, hey, can you write this as one of the RDBMS? Then I have included that as one among the steps to me.
Okay. Sai, how frequently do we run these jobs? On daily basis or on weekly
Depends on the projects. In my before project was daily. Now current my project is weekly on Tuesday.
Okay. Sai, if we are doing on the daily basis, or we need to supposed to do work on Saturday and Sunday, like then we need to
That's
do
automated, right,
scheduling.
Madhavan? See, why are we keep scheduling every day, Madhavan? 8 o'clock, if I schedule and leave it, daily 8 o'clock, it will run. Correct?
Okay.
Scheduling, let me talk to you tomorrow on scheduling part. Okay. All right.
Sai, one more question. So what will be the size of the source data? How much
Have you checked the goal video?
Yes, it was mentioned like 150 GB or 100 GB like that. So on a daily basis, is it possible to get that much?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes.
Okay. Sai, one last question, like how many days it will take to develop the code in the real time?
Depends on the project, Madhavan. Complete depends on the project. If the requirements keep coming up, my project was developing from past 4 years. Every week we are enhancing. Every sprint we are enhancing.
I mean, for this example, like we execute this example, right? For this example, normally how many days? Like 1 week, is that sufficient?
1 week? Come on. How come 1 week? I just put one web API. Imagine I have, okay, tomorrow's topic I'm talking today. Anyway, so many web APIs I have. What will you do? So many flattened data if you have, what do you have to do? Last week I told you, right, Madhavan? Right? That time it will take time. Put 6 months to 1 year each project.
Sai, if they ask why you are doing, what kind of analysis you are doing on this, we can mention like this is for the business
You
requirement.
can say
Is
customer
that
analytics.
simple?
Customer analytics. Simple, easy and safe. Customer analytics.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That's it.
Madhavan, some of the questions you can get clarified in the doubt session also, Madhavan. Hema can also assist you. So please use doubt
Okay.
session also. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
yesterday night
Thank you, sir.
8:30, this question can be posted. You can post it. Yes. Thank you. Guru.
So you said 3 steps, right? Separately. Why say 3 steps separately?
Yeah. See, imagine I have multiple step by step. Right now I have RDS, correct?
Yes,
This is
sir.
one step. Like this, if I have 7 RDBMS,
Okay, sir.
only for RDS and create a step. Why to collect everything in a single code?
So these steps, it will be from requirement itself, sir.
Requirements of, see, it's a developer's requirement. Architecture side. Development and architects would be there, right? In the development, they'll say, okay, sectionize this RDBMS right as a separate rights. Section that extraction as a separate rights. They'll design it. We do accordingly, and we can provide our suggestions also.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So one more question is, if it is an on-premise project, sir, how to get a deployment script, sir?
On-premises state or a Spark Summit script. 2 Spark Summits. This is your Spark Summits, right?
Yes, sir. And where we will be placing jar, sir? Jar, sir, in
Edge node only.
Okay.
See these 3 jars, right? These 3 Spark Summit. I'll do everything in a single Spark Summit. I will put everything in a shell script.
Okay, sir.
vi data, run.sh. Inside that, I'll create all the 3 Spark Summits here.
Okay.
Then
sir.
I can run it, right? 3 Spark Summits, I can run it. Or else create a shell script for each and every run. Schedule it one after other. Most probably, it is better to schedule one hour in a single script, actually. Yeah.
If for this scheduler, shy, Uzi, something like that.
Not required. For on-premises, you can say Uzi. But in cloud, it is not required. Cloud, you can go with the cron because orchestration is already taken care by EMR as a step execution. Step by step. Step by step is nothing but orchestration. Uzi is an orchestration tool. EMR is already doing it. Hey, execute this first, execute this next, execute that next. It's already doing it. You need not worry about it. In case if it is in AWS.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So one more question. If it is, you showed that folder creation in S3 side, there was one date folder before each one, which we haven't created, sir.
No, it's a part of our code.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sai, one more thing. For example, Sai, you in step 2 you wrote 2 RDBMS, Sai. What if we need a staging table, Sai? If there was an
no staging table. Spark cannot handle staging table. Spark cannot handle staging table. Scoop can handle. If any changes happens, you have to. That's the reason I written along with the date. We have to flesh out the date completely. You got it? I written along with the date, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
RDBMS, I have written along with the dates. If any partial import happens, delete the data for this whole dates and re-export it, re-execute
it. That code where we have to write, sir? In our
flush out manually in the RDBMS and re-execute the Spark Summit. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anant?
A couple of queries while running with the right option when loading into RDBMS, tables get created if not exist, right? So in case if we have if we want to have a primary key in the table, then we need to create at the database level and perform the Spark load, right?
Exactly. That's an RDBMS script, right? Okay. That's not Spark script.
Right. Okay. Next question: how can we know that? How can we know what keywords we need to provide in the options when we perform read-write, as it doesn't prompt, right?
No,
so
we have.
How can we know
that you get upon the practice?
Okay.
That you complete. It depends on the requirement you have. Simple. Like suddenly multi-line true coming, you have to check how to read that JSON. Then you'll get this. There is no specific official Spark documentation they have provided on the options level.
Okay.
Right? Upon the practice, you get it.
Okay. And next question, in what scenarios we will be having 3 different Spark sessions in a single object?
I told you, right? Sectioning. Okay, RDBMS, right? Section it up separately. Use it one object for it. Extraction, the API extraction. Use separate object for it. That's how we sectionize it. Extraction as a separate, writes to RDBMS as a separate section like that.
Okay, I mean today's project we can have this 3 different Spark sessions, right? I mean the
Definitely,
project which you have created.
Imagine I have 7 APIs.
Okay.
Use it one object, 7 APIs to extract. I have 5 RDBMS writes. Use separate object to write this 5 RDBMS writes. Custodial, you can have only one. That's the reason I've been telling since long.
Okay.
I've been saying this since long. Today itself. Anyway, if you have multiple, use step 1. If I have multiple RDBMS, use a separate step for it. You got it? What I mean? Step 2.
Yeah.
Imagine custodial another step. So that like that you can have. You can say 7 to 8 web APIs, right? Yeah.
Right. And next question, other than cron tab, do we have any scheduler service
Let's
within
wait
the
for the
cloud?
schedule. Wait for the scheduling tomorrow. I'll tell you that. Tomorrow I'll tell you that.
Okay. Yeah. And next question, the same step execution would be similar in other clouds as well, right? Like
Depends.
Google.
Google Cloud Platform has workflow execution. Azure HD Insight has a different workflow templates. This is step execution in EMR. That differs.
Okay. One last question, Sai. Like we perform step execution with Spark Submit and didn't give any on number of executors or memory allocation.
You have
So
to
how?
provide. You have to provide. Here I did not provide. You have to provide. Yes.
Okay. Okay, Sai. Yeah. Thank you.
Anita?
So I have one small doubt. Actually, I got a call for the interviews regarding cloud. Only they are called it for cloud and AWS. And I said I have a knowledge. How many years you have experience in cloud? I said it is like nearly 1 month only. Then she said okay. Then I said in Spark, Scala, Hive, that is all. But still, I wanted in Spark and Python. They asked in Python. So I don't know whether to accept or not.
No, don't accept that. I'll tell you. No, don't accept that.
Yeah.
The reason that is not that will not be purely big data project. That is the case.
Okay.
They specifically mention
I
I need a
even
Python.
I don't have a knowledge.
I'll tell you one second. Let me answer. So first of all, when they are specifically pointing, hey, I need Python, then definitely that's not a pure big data project. I've experienced it. All right. Some of the calls will come, hey, I need Spark. That could be Scala, Spark, or PySpark. That's okay. Right? If they're specifically mentioning I need Python, then you have to check with them, hey, is it a big data project? Tell me that. There are many instances people get trained for the even day before yesterday. I got a call from 33 batch folks, something as Nagarani. She said like they're putting in this Python data frames, Python pandas data frames, not in Spark or something. It's not a big data project. That's we should be very cautious.
Because I don't know whether it comes, and that is the reason I had a doubt, and I said no, I don't have experience with
check
Python.
with them. No, check with them. Is it a big data project? Are you sure? You have to check with them.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, Subramani.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Question on the Spark part. I think you have not covered the multiple array generation. Would it be covered
color
on the
list.
line or?
I believe I told how to generate 2 color list. That's it, Subramani. Rate 2 color list.
I tried it. Then can I just show my code? I'm getting in.
Have you showed in the doubt session?
I checked with Hema itself last week.
Then show it. Then share it.
Just wait.
Yeah. You checked with Hema,
just
right?
go ahead with the remaining questions. I'll just open the code and share.
Okay. Hope you checked. I assume that you already checked with Hema. Then you're coming to me, right, Subramani? Anyway,
yes, she asked me to wait for the class so that you can cover this part.
Understood. Not required. Okay, 2 color list. Straight away, it's 2 color list anyway. Irappa? Irappa, go ahead, Irappa.
Hello.
Yeah, Irappa.
Hello, sir. Sir, actually, I have attended the Accenture interview for day before yesterday. And with their interviewer is asking, so you were started your career as a non-IT role, and how come all of a sudden you moved to IT role? Which they're asking.
How much experience you have?
Total I do have 8+, sir, and initially 2 years I have mentioned as non-IT,
Perfect.
And
What you
remaining 3
answered?
plus here.
What you answered?
I said just I got a chance in my organization, so I moved to that as a ETL developer.
Absolutely fine. What he answered?
And it's I think, but you don't have any IT background. How what are the roles you have played as an ETL developer? With
Obviously, you
what are
have
the
to answer.
tools?
See, you should be very strong enough to answer. First 2 years, I wasn't. I got an internal moment. I got a chance. What is a non-IT background mean? You have to defend. Hey, first 2 years I'm not, but last 6 years I'm in IT only. See, take TCS.
And
Take TCS. How many people from BPO background is coming to IT sector in the TCS itself internally? A lot of people will come from BPO to IT.
yeah, I said same thing. I got an opportunity in internal this one only, but what they are telling, what are the roles you have played as a ETL developer, and what are the tools you are used, which they are asking.
What you answered, Irpa? Tell me what you answered.
I said I use that in a SQL, but apart from that, I have not said anything.
You said ETL that you have mentioned about Informatica already, right? In your resume. I gave ETL points for Informatica only, right, Irpa?
Yes, sir.
You have to mention that. That's what he's expecting. Irpa have a lot of presence of mind that time. Why are we spoiling it? Okay.
But that's
Anyway,
my first
then do one
interview.
thing. If you are very insecure about it, make the 2 years also as a IT only. Don't worry. All right. If you feel so insecure on it, if you're not able to defend, no, I feel so less confidence on defending it, please change it to IT. Completely ETL. That's okay. Getting it?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Venu?
Like we did today, we did project on the batch processing, right? This comes in batch processing.
Tell me.
So like I mean, like I uploaded my resume. They were asking about Spark streaming, Apache Kafka, like Kinesis, and like so can you give me a little bit in what to call outlook on the like what would be the Spark job if we have the
Streaming
real-time data?
outlook in just a minute. Streaming outlook. Okay. See, streaming is almost streaming. I understand, Venu. I definitely understand. But streaming is completely a stream data. Kafka is an MQ. Spark streaming is a stream data. You remember you attended one of the workshops for streaming long back?
Yes, sir.
You go to my Zebron YouTube link. In that YouTube, I uploaded that streaming. Just have a check on that. That's only the best option I can give you. Streaming is a very big topic. We are going to see in upcoming sessions. Just with
my point is like yeah, I mean, like we create the same kind of jobs for it, the same procedure for production, right? My point was
same. But that EMR runs 24/7.
Okay.
That EMR runs 24/7.
One more.
Tell me.
Okay, understood. And so like the Canadian market is like really slow. Like I mean, I've been only getting the calls, like the screening calls. So any advice or something? I mean, because like we see people in India, like they're getting 4 or 5 interviews. I hardly got the chance to get an interview. So
are you going through employers, consultancies?
Yes, yeah.
What they're saying?
I mean, like I'm getting like 10 to 20 calls a day. Like they're just asking for my experience, and they ask like 1 or 2 questions here and there. Okay, they said like okay, we'll put the profile in the candidate list, and we'll let you know if you get selected. So that is what I'm getting. I mean, the
Check for the
process
consultancy. You have an employer, right? Check for the employer. So why it is happening? Canadian market employers, they know it better, like which client is using what. Just check with them. Go reach out to the consultancies and say, hey, I need the opportunity. Is there a way that you can make it? They will tell you what to prepare, which companies to hit. They'll arrange the experience for you. You need not to worry about how many calls you're getting, how many are getting scheduled. The consulting itself will schedule you. Getting it, Venu?
Yes, sir.
Employer. In other words, employer will schedule and give it to you.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got one employer contact, but I'm just verifying whether he's genuine or not for Canada. He lives in Toronto, but I'm yet to get a complete verification whether he's a genuine one or not. I cannot blindly give that number. I'm just finding a genuine person. Trying to. Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. Umesh?
Hi, Sai. Just a simple question. So normally we generated a jar in our Windows, right? So do we do that in cloud directly?
Sorry. Okay, jar generation. See, in production, we don't generate development, we generate it manually, but in production, it gets generated by Jenkins. Jenkins does it. Getting it, Umesh?
Got it. That's right.
Yeah.
So there will be DevOps team doing this. Is that what?
They will generate CI/CD. Sometimes there will be a Jenkins UI I'll be having. You just have to go and start the command. There will be a button to start it, to build it, basically. So it will fetch the code from Git itself. Tomorrow I'm going to say it anyway. Once we commit the code to the Git, Jenkins file would be there in the Git. It directly, but if you go to Jenkins here in your Jenkins here and shoot it, immediately that directly writes the jar to the AWS system.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Subramania?
Sai, scenario handling, Sai, you told no in WhatsApp chat.
Yeah, I thought of giving one video. Check this recording, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Emma created one video for the scenarios. Okay, just check on that. I posted an announcement group.
Okay. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Issue?
Yeah, hi, Sai. I just wanted to ask you, in the development cluster, we have a clone as an option. Are we copying that like the similar project and keeping it
Yeah,
up
same
for the
steps.
future?
Yes. Hey, I need the same steps. Clone it. I need the exact Xerox of it.
Oh, so we do use it in the real time, this clone it?
During the development phase, we use it. So yesterday I developed the
save,
code.
Okay.
Yesterday I
Yeah,
used
I
one
got it.
cluster.
Like to.
I'll tell you.
Sorry.
Yesterday I developed some cluster. I
Okay.
developed it. Today I need the same
Mhm,
cluster.
mhm.
Clone it and start working.
Mhm,
But you'll not have the data,
mhm.
but same features you have.
Okay, data won't be similar, but at least we can save some time because steps might be similar with the
Exactly.
different projects.
Yes,
So we
yes,
do
yes.
usually. Okay. The second thing, most importantly, Sai, I'm not getting calls from the company.
No, that's
I'm
it. Go
not
with the
sure
plan
what.
B. But go with the plan B. Add the
Okay.
experience. You have only
Plan.
you find 1 year, 4 months, 1 year, 5 months.
Yes, 1 year, 5 months. That's right.
Make it 1.5 before your employment. Make it 3 altogether.
Okay. So I shall go with soft deal technologies and put
Go with
all the
soft deal.
projects in there.
Yes. I already told this plan B,
Okay.
right?
And
To you during the review.
Yes. I just wanted you to just re-review, and if something needs to be added, you can let me know.
Add your soft
I'll
deal
do that as
technologies
well.
and add it and completely dismantle the existing profile, create a very new profile with a new email ID and phone number. Okay.
Okay. Sai, my notice period is 3 months. So shall I
That
not
doesn't
mention
matter.
that?
That doesn't matter. Sure. Create a very new profile with 3 months notice period itself. Right? You'll get a calls from MNCs.
Sure.
Startups may not accept it.
And I
but
can.
MNCs.
Okay. I can even mention AWS and EMR.
Definitely not. From today you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now. Okay. Thanks, Sai. Thanks.
Thank you. Chaitanya?
Sorry, like to connect to EMR, we need PEM file, right? Like if we missing a PEM file, is there any other alternative?
The PEM file you can download it. You have the TC2 key pairs, right? In S3s you have the PEM files, RPPK files. You have this key pairs here, right?
Yes.
You can just create a new pair. One sec. Download. How we downloaded it? Delete manage tags. But I used to have the download link. RSA token. Used to download somewhere, the UI changed. Oh, the keeper, create a keeper. You can create one again by checking the tags with the same name, but download. I'll check on this because we used to have the download option at the top before. They removed it. I'm not sure why. It's a new UI. Let me check how to download this. Okay. I'll tell you tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Vishnu? Vishnu?
Yeah, sorry, 1 minute. I just need to unmute. Can you just unmute me?
You're already unmute.
No. Okay, fine. Sorry, like I am trying to configure this EMR service yesterday, and like I'm not able to log into Putty with that.
Access.
Yeah. So.
Now connect to it, okay? It will work. SSH
Okay, and one more
happened.
thing, sorry, like, EC2 is like a kind of sorry, I didn't enter the key. And EC2 is a kind of this edge node, right?
It's not like that. EC2 is a virtual machine. That's it. Just a virtual machine.
Okay. So like why do we need EC2 for configuring this EMR?
Okay, schedule it. We need a virtual box for multiple reasons, right? Imagine for scheduling, for copying, for downloading.
Okay.
Some reasons. I want to check an API. I want to delete some indexes in Elasticsearch. I want to connect to a MySQL through CLI. We need a virtual box, right? Are we using Edge node only for Hadoop? No. Are we using Edge node box only for Hadoop? No. Correct. So multiple reasons we use.
Okay, so here in these three machines, one machine will act as a edge node and two will be
No, master. Directly we are connecting it to master node. That is name node we are directly connecting.
Okay.
We do not have edge node for this. Only masters. Name node we are directly connecting to it.
Okay, and sorry, like how about PySpark? Because like I got like one of my friend
I can start.
told me that
It's not like that. It's a myth. Okay. Is he working in PySpark? Is he working in PySpark?
No, actually he told like no. He
People
knows
give enough free advices, Vishnu. Enough free advices people will give. Okay, very free. Right? Actually, in the previous batches, we immediately handled PySpark. After Scala Spark, we immediately handled PySpark. After that, we came to EMR. Right? Comparing to EMR deployment and the cloud environment, then the PySpark, this seems to be more important for me. So we're covering it up. Even Spark, after Magic Date, we covered Spark Hive integration, then PySpark, then we touched AWS EMR. But in the recent times, the questions on cloud has increased a lot. That's the reason we immediately started.
Okay.
But PySpark, you will be seeing it. Every topic which you saw in Scala Spark, you're going to see it in PySpark, 100%. Got it? But don't believe only PySpark opportunity, Scala Spark. Okay, I'll ask you the same question during the PySpark session, Vishnu. Vishnu, did you see any difference between Scala Spark and PySpark? You will answer my question. You will not see much differences. Okay? And don't get a free advisor.
Correct. No. Actually, it's a HR. They have asked it actually, so that is
what they asked.
And
hey,
one
I
more
need only
thing.
PySpark. They asked. Who is that HR?
No. I was asking like she's no like I know her from IBM days. So I asked her whether there is any opening. Then she told that for PySpark there is opening. So that
Okay.
is
Did
why
you
I
say?
just
Did you
asked.
say? I said I know only Scala Spark. Did you say that?
I told that. Then she told that she will check with the panel and she will come back to me.
Thing is like that. Okay, I'll ask the same question next week. During the PySpark session, I'll ask you, Vishnu, did you see any difference between Scala Spark and PySpark? I itself will ask you. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And one more thing, like we need to generate a batch ID in each file. Like how will we do that? Like
What is
for
the batch
first
ID?
load, it should be one. Like
Mhm.
for example, like in one of your interview video, right? I saw that like you told like we will be generating a batch ID and we'll be loading it to see the
Correct.
difference. So how will
Okay.
we do that actually?
Imagine RDBMS, we have the data. While writing it, I wrote it with 0.
Okay.
All right. We load it
Okay.
with 0. Next time, what I'll do, I have to load it with 1. I read the
We'll
RDBMS
take the
once,
maximum and
take the maximum, and
Mhm.
add 1 to it and load it. That's
Plus
it.
it. Okay. Okay. And one more thing, like we have not taken all the data from API, right? Like we are limiting the result to something like 1,000, right?
Here we are limiting, but in real time, how much data will come directly will come. Only once you'll get the data from
And
it.
if the okay, so if there is some changes to that API, right, there will be some update or some extra record added, right? Then what will happen?
It will create a new API. If you hit it, the data will come again. See, today you hit it, you took 100 records. If you hit it again, you'll not get the records. Today. Tomorrow, if the data got appended in the Elasticsearch or somewhere, it will come tomorrow when you hit it again. Only this API is providing the data continuously, but in real time, that API data will provide a standard data every day. It will not keep hitting, it will not keep generating. Getting it, Vishnu?
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Sikandar? Sikandar?
Hello, sir.
Go ahead, Sikandar.
Yeah, I know questions about the diagram.
Tell me.
Yeah.
What is the question state?
Okay.
One second, before that, folks, I hardly have 8 minutes time for the other call. I can extend till 12:35, 5 more minutes, but I hardly have only 12:35 hot stop. Go ahead, Sikandar. Yeah.
So, Sai, during the project, you told me there is a three steps, yeah, and the data is coming from the streaming from the web APIs, and why we need a Ebro customer file inside
That's another
the
file. 2 sources.
yes, 3.
One file, I get a login details of the persons who is getting logged into the web APIs. All right. On the other side, I have the static customer data. 2 sources I'm maintaining. 2 different teams, 2 different data generations, but I'm collating with a common username. Getting it, Sikandar?
Who creating this Ebro file? You mean?
Sorry?
Who gonna creating
Source
this
team.
Ebro file
Source team
for
will
the
push it. It's
customer
not our
detail?
job. Source team will push it. We have an upstream stream who will push the data. From there, I'll consume it. You need to worry about generation of it. You need to worry about where it is coming from. It comes directly.
So it's just like come from the URL, just like it comes from
Sikandar,
the web
Sikandar,
API, or
upstream
it's
team can be anyone, Sikandar. Why are you worrying about the upstream team? Who pushes the data? You don't worry about who pushes the data. Right? We can say there is other team who pushes the data. That's it. The data is available. My job starts from consuming the data from that point.
and these two kind of data is a similar category, or is it they have a different
See, if
type
it is a
of
similar category,
people
why I'll
name or
have 2 sources, Sikandar? Simple logic, right?
so it's just like the schema.
One
It's just like
data, I
schema
get
is
a
just like
login details. Other data, I'll get a customer satisfaction feedback. One API data, I may get how many users are getting logged in with which username. Avro, you can make it as a static customer information or revenue information, purchase information. You can elaborate it, right?
customer is the customer detail, and the web API is kind of the details. Can you
Sikandar,
repeat
2
again, please?
different data
The
sets.
cost.
2 different data has a different data in it for the customers. We use it and colliding it. That's it.
Okay, 2 different data. And yeah, I already talked with the Ram Tiwari, like you gave me that number, and he told me as long as I'm ready for my marketing, and he gonna create my resume.
Yes.
He said.
That's great. He's an employer. Yes, he has a
Uh-huh.
consultancy in US. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sai.
Thank you.
Today I get a lot of knowledge. Because before that deployment, I am really mysterious about deployment. Now today is a really understand that deployment how it happened. Thank you.
Perfect. Then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Manoj.
Hi, Sai. So the task which we are, the transactions which we have done in project ones with scope and hive, how could we handle it in EMR here?
EMR. For every import, EMR gets created. You saw that step execution creation when I created?
Yes.
Can you see custom jar?
Yes.
Custom jar is nothing but a shell script. Got it?
Okay.
Have your scope import commands in a file in S3. All the scope import commands placed into a single file in S3. Configure it. Jar is not required. One second. Streams like high. No, custom jar is fine. See, this jar, there is something known as a script runner. Yeah, there is a concept of script runner. Place that script runner jar location here. And arguments, give the S3 shell script path, which has all the scope imports in it. You got it?
Okay.
You got it? So give that as a shell script. That time it automatically runs it. You'll not, all the scope imports gets executed at one shot. You getting it? But that scope import
Yes,
should be
yes.
there in your S3, not in EMR. EMR is just an on-demand temporary.
Scope import should be there in
file. That file should be in S3.
Okay, got it. Even it's the same for high transactions.
Hive is
as well?
different. You have a Hive for Hive program here. You can configure it.
Okay.
Hive HQL script, input S3 location, output S3 location. It's completely on the Hive script. Still, you can create a custom jar, same custom jar. When you configure it, place all the Hive scripts in a single file and shoot it. That is recommendable. Have everything in a shell script.
Like so as you said in gold video unit testing with Hive-E or
Hive-E,
we can
yes,
create in
yes.
such way.
Yeah. That Hive-E script should be present in your S3.
Okay, sir. And
Hive-E,
one question like
give select or insert or whatever, save it this into a file. That file should be present in your S3. That path should be given in the arguments. Simple. You got it?
yes, I got it. So for all the statements, one Hive-E is fine, right? Like
For perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
Come on.
Perfectly fine. Yes. So next question.
Got it, sir. So like when we are trying to read data from RDBMS like Oracle or SQL to Spark, so the job has been completed successfully with no log error, but not all the records have been imported to the Spark. So how do we check like
Spark
which
or
records have been
RDBMS?
missed?
RDBMS or Spark?
So the question is like whatever the source we are reading, like he said like first Oracle, we are reading it from Oracle to the Spark. So some
What is
records
to
are not
Spark?
read.
What is the to Spark mean? Are we reading the table through Spark or to Spark? What is the to Spark mean?
Like reading the table through Spark, like he
Through
said.
Spark. Okay, I read it. Okay, what's the next question?
So not all the records have been imported, right?
No. It's not import. Again, I'm correcting it, Manoj. It's not import. It's not import. Import means the data written. This is just a read. Spark is just reading it. Then I have to see there is no chance the Spark will fail. The reason, if I'm doing a partial read, then Spark will not read it at all. Simple. Unless until Spark gets a proper hold of the RDBMS table, it will not show the data at all. It will not show a partial data at all anytime. Unless until it don't read the data, it will be struck or it will fail, establishing issue, something. Connection establishment or whatever. There is no partial data showing through Spark. 100% zero tolerance. All right.
Okay.
Even Scoop cannot do it because it's a HDFS. There is no partial reads. You can happily say this point. There's no partial reads, or else Spark will not show it. Yeah.
Okay, got it, Sai. And one more question, like suppose we have very long script and we have submitted it a script, but the script got terminated in between, and again we have to resume it from what line has this been terminated.
Which line? Is it Spark?
Yes, he said Spark script only.
Yeah, that we cannot. There's a concept of checkpointing, basically. There's a concept of checkpointing, but if the job completely fails, there is no in-between running script. No.
Okay.
That's the reason we create multi-scripts. Here you saw RDVM is a separate script, extraction is a separate script, Custovel is a separate script. So that's the reason we are dividing it in a making. Suddenly the single script ends, it's a partial, it's a very big problem for us. There's no such concept here.
Yes. So when you have been explaining the step execution, I was able to relate to it. If it has been 1 week before me, definitely I would have answered that.
That's okay.
And
now
one
you
more
got the
question,
question, you did answer. Yeah. One sec, Manoj. Folks,
Yes,
hardly
yes,
have 5 minutes, folks. I have to jump into the call. Go ahead, Manoj. Yeah.
This is the last question. So while development, we are not giving all the import syntaxes, but still it's been executing and we are writing it in the
No,
Eclipse.
we are a direct. Yeah, I already answered this question last week, but still you're asking. Okay. See, first of all, Spark Shell. When I open the Spark Shell, it already got all the imports in it. We are actually doing it in a Spark Shell. Eclipse is a mask of it. Eclipse is just a Xerox of it. We are creating a Spark environment in it. But Spark Shell is already a Spark environment. The genuine Spark environment. It is already imports classes available inside it. Yeah. But any external imports like Scala IO, that we have to do.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, Vijay Shanti. Vijay Shanti.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Shanti.
Sir, I have some error in Eclipse. Shall I share my screen?
Eclipse error. Okay, share your screen. Why not this got corrected as screen? Share your screen. Share your screen.
I already talked with Hema. Actually, it's Eclipse error means that real-time scenario I am doing this, no? In that new tokenizer
Give me the access.
and everything.
Give me the access. No, why are you not sharing your whole screen? Vijay Shanti, why not you sharing your whole screen? Don't stop. Don't share only one Eclipse, or else don't share
sharing,
it. I mean, share whole screen, not just Eclipse, please. Share your whole screen all the time. Don't share Eclipse alone.
How to share?
There is a screen option at the top left. Time is crunch here. I hardly have 3 minutes. Meanwhile, Yash, go ahead, Yash. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Sai. Sai, actually, while running one insert override query, I'm getting message could not read
Share your
schema
screen.
from
Share
the
your screen
Hive.
first. Share your screen first.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm using Zoom on my phone.
No.
Actually, No, I'm just asking like what could be the possible reason. The error is Hive meta could not read schema from the Hive meta store because it is corrupted.
Yes. I cannot imagine an issue and answer it, yes. Any issues for share your screen. That's it. Then I can resolve it. I cannot imagine. That could be multiple reasons. How can I imagine and tell you an answer? No, we cannot. Okay, please. Show it whenever required. Show it and then get it resolved.
Okay, yeah. I will connect at 8:30 p.m. call.
Today we do not have. Tomorrow is the call. Show it to me tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow I will show you.
Where is the whole code, Vijay Shanti? Where is the whole code?
This is the one.
Folks, 2 more minutes I can spend, folks. I may have to leave. Pro tokenizer, legal integration, Spark Scala, input tokenizer, near regression. I'm giving some imports to it.
Okay.
Do this.
Sai, I think object name is different. She has used OBJ, but in that it's.
No, it's OBJ only. No, it's OBJ.
Oh, okay.
So OBJ. It's import issue. It's completely import issue. Can you import it right now? Vijay Shanti, which I have given. Meanwhile, Subramani, share your screen
Okay,
and show
sir.
it to me. Yeah. Folks, hardly 2 more minutes I can spend,
Okay.
folks. Very important call I have to. Share your screen, Subramani.
Yeah. Sai, actually, I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Just-
I have hardly 2 minutes. Really sorry.
Yeah,
Folks,
I'll
very
just
important
take
call. That's one
few
second.
seconds. I'll
That's my
just take
product.
few
One second. That's my production call actually. So I can spend maximum 1 hour for the doubt sessions. Folks, kindly consider. I need some rest as well. Go ahead, Subramani. What is the question? Go ahead, Subramani. Subramani, go ahead, please. Go on unmute and talk, please.
Sorry, yeah, you're able to hear me now?
Tell me.
Okay, so I've used to collect list to aggregate to create the array structure, just like this.
Collect list cannot be used. Collect list, collect list. You cannot do that. First, you have to collect list one. You have to do a collect list of one method. Imagine first you have to do a collect list on one column. Then again, another aggregation will come.
I've done that also.
Each aggregation can create only one aggregation. See, with a single group by, you cannot aggregate two.
Okay.
Group by of agree, then group by of agree. You got it?
Okay. If I just scroll down, I tried human that. So yeah, this is the one. Second time I try to do the second aggregate with ID and accounting. The account is the first aggregate which I've already done.
Show it to me. Show the error to me.
Yeah. Same error I'll get. Same exception in thread made.
Okay, can you send this code to me, Subramani? Let me try and tell you which error you are getting.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me a code. Vijay Shanti, give me the access. Vijay Shanti, have you imported that imports? Have you put that imports which I pinged in Zoom chat?
Yes, I.
You didn't save it? You have to save it, right? So this is gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Folks, hardly 1 more minute I can spend, folks. I'm already late 7 minutes to a meeting.
Sorry to disturb.
Tell me.
Still I am not able to log into Putty actually with that cloud configuration.
Let me check tomorrow, Vishnu. Let's check tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have imported something, Vijay Shanti. Go ahead. Ashoka, what is it?
Okay, sir.
Ashoka, what is it? Ashoka.
Question, sir. Hello, very more important, sir.
Tell me.
About National Skill Register?
I know.
So they will be recording all our certifications and everything, right?
I never took it. I never informed it. NSR, I never registered in it. NASCOM. Once upon a time, NASCOM was
because
there.
in all companies all they're registering there. So our companies all registered there only. So
Okay, Ashoka,
they
what
will
is
be
the
monitoring
question?
all the things. My question is, if I'm having certificate, means if I'm having posting with some gap or anything, so everything will be coming and reflecting there, right?
No. NASCOM was already stopped. Was already stopped. If that is the case, our Zebron students should have not got an offer, Ashoka, so far. It's not like that.
No, you will get an offer. No problem for offer. When business is getting down, no. So first is these people will be targeted. They will be the send off. After that, you will not get a job. It
Never,
will be
Ashoka.
taking long
Never,
time.
Ashoka. No. I have done enough R&D on that. That doesn't happen like that. In my experience, I'm telling you, no, that never happened to anyone. Yeah.
Okay. And the next is web APIs. Can you give examples of the APIs? More number of examples.
Okay. Can we get clarified this tomorrow, Ashoka? Already people started pinging me. 8 minutes late for me. Folks, any questions? Let's tackle it tomorrow, please. I'm already late for my meeting. Thank you. Thanks all.